Oh, I wish it was Friday. I say that for the podcast audience because my graphic still shows the overlay from Friday's show, and the professor was here when Mark Haynes was here, and when the Warriors were playing a hapless, awful team, because that's pretty much the only time we can be assured that the Warriors are going to be victorious. The moment they play a team that has some talent, has some length, just has any semblance of a decently good basketball team, Warriors are cooked. Tonight, no exception. Well, at least the 49ers carried their weight in terms of San Francisco Bay Area sports. Congratulations to the red and gold for making up the difference, because the Warriors came back down to earth. The Atlanta Hawks came to town and beat the piss out of them. Why? Because they're bigger. They're longer. It ain't complicated. This game, the Warriors were actually in this game until late second quarter, where Steve Kerr thought, hey, what if I roll another Hobbit lineup out there? Because those work wonders. I'll explain what I mean in just a second. Final score, 124-111 in a game that was not that close. The Warriors trailed by 25 in the fourth quarter before making a little run at the end to make the score a bit more respectable than it actually was. But we're going to break it down on a Sunday evening. The Jonathan Kuminga trade watch continues. What is the date today? Today is January 11th. Something tells me most of you are going to watch this on January 12th, which means we're 3 days away from finding out if Kuminga is going to be moved, or if this is just a wasted 3-4 year experiment. Utter lunacy. More Pajemski minutes, bro. But Pajemski's net rating, bro. All you can do is laugh, because otherwise you're just going to be so depressed, you'll curl up in the fetal position, crying your eyes out. This is ugly. Let's talk about it. We're powered by FanDuel. This is the golden days. Let's go. Welcome to the program. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz, your host for this Sunday evening, coming to you live from the Golden Days studios in West Sonoma County, California. You can follow me, Cyrus Saatsaz, on Threads and Instagram, at Dog Wild. Over on Twitter, my handle is at Surf Journalist. The program on both platforms at Golden Days Pod. The program's brought to you by FanDuel, and I'm on the sportsbook right now. I highly doubt the line for the Warriors' next game, which is Tuesday. Oh boy, and they host the Portland Trailblazers, who are essentially the Western Conference version of the Atlanta Hawks, a team the Warriors are 0-3 against. And something tells me Kerr is just going to do the same shit over and over again. There are some semblances of adjustment. Granted, Kerr's adjustments take months, years, as opposed to a coach with a decent IQ who might make that adjustment in a day, in an hour. Guy Santos was actually off the bench tonight before Brandon Pajemski. And then someone made me aware, or at least told me, and my apologies for not noticing this sooner, but apparently this has been happening for a few games now. So Pajemski is slowly getting phased, but it's at a snail's pace. And unfortunately, Kerr went to him and GP2, the lineup I'm referring to that basically ended this game in the second quarter. And then I'll get to FanDuel and to check on whether or not there are odds available for the Tuesday Warriors home game where they host the Portland Trailblazers. But in the second quarter of this game, I bring this moment up because the Warriors were in this game for almost a half. It really, and then at the end of the first half is where it all started to unravel. And no surprise, it had everything to do with rotations. The Warriors, in the second half of this game, with 2:58, I apologize, with 2:43 remaining in the first half, the Warriors led this game 49-45. So it's not like the Hawks just ran away with this from the beginning. It was competitive. And then what does Steve Kerr do? Mr. Anybody can see that Kuminga can't play with Dre and Jimmy. Anybody can see that? Are you out of your mind? No, you're the only one that thinks that. Sorry, I'm reciting Kerr's words from a pregame press conference the other day where he actually had the audacity to tell the world that JK is no longer a part of this lineup and rotation because anybody, that's the word Kerr used, anybody can see that Kaminga, Dre, Jimmy Butler can play together. No, anybody can't see that. Only you can see that. You obtuse putts. And tonight, what does Kerr do? He has his veteran core out there. Steph, Dre, Jimmy. Who does he surround those three with? GP2, the 6'2 bouncy hobbit, and Brandon Pajemski, the sideshow Bob Hobbit. I couldn't even say that right. The sideshow Bob Hobbit. There you go. And the Hawks immediately go on a run because when you're being defended by hobbits, field goal attempts are not difficult. If you're watching or listening right now, imagine whatever height you are. I'm the supposed average height for a male human being, 5'10". So picture the actual figure of your height in your head, and then picture someone 5 to 6 inches shorter than you. So in my case, it would be someone 5'6", 5'5", 5'4", and then ask yourself if you're playing basketball against someone with that height difference, would you in any way feel that person when you're putting up shots? Would that person worry you in terms of blocking your shot? Would that person obstruct your view? Would that person be viewed as a threat defensively? No, clearly not. Because this is effing basketball. It is so easy to put up shots with a high efficiency when the person playing against you is a Smurf. And so what does Kerr do at the end of this, toward the end of the second half, with the Warriors leading this game, still in it? There's hope for this team. And then he decides, oh, my 4-5 are going to be Pajemski and GP2. So of course the Hawks go on a run. At the end of the first half, the score is 58-53. And then in the third quarter, they just really pulled away. The Warriors were outscored in the third quarter of this game 35-25. And by that point, it was over. And again, at one point early in the fourth quarter, they trailed by 25 points. Jaylen Johnson, side note, is legit. Eddie 7573, I'm guessing your handle is just Eddie, writing that Atlanta is a kryptonite team for the Warriors, a long, tall, athletic squad. Tonight's result was predictable. And if the Warriors lose to Portland for a fourth time, again, that's the next opponent on Tuesday, that Joe Lacob had better take notice of Steve Kerr's small ball failures. Atlanta is like what most good NBA teams are. It isn't just Atlanta. It isn't just Portland. It's OKC. It's Houston. It's Denver. It's the Lakers. It's Minnesota. It's who am I forgetting? It's pretty much every good team. And the final score of this one, 124-111. Again, a score that represents a game that was not that close. The Warriors lose by 13. They could have lost by 30 the way this thing was going if they did not put up a decent fight toward the end there. FanDuel, let's see if they have a line for Tuesday's Warriors-Blazers game. They do not. Huge surprise. Curious to know what the Warriors' title odds are now. Last time we looked at this, it was plus 4,500. And right now, the Warriors are still plus 4,500. Last time we looked at this, the Warriors and the Minnesota Timberwolves had even plus 4,500 odds. Minnesota is now up to plus 3,500. And the win total, if you're amused like me that the bookies never post a win total for the Warriors. Oh my God. Oh, they did tonight. Oh, I don't think we've seen this in like a month. All right. I'm going to guess before I go to this. And I'm going to ask the audience as well. Do you have a guess for what the current over-under is for the Golden State Warriors in terms of their win total? The Professor Armando Laura and I on Friday's show went through the remaining schedule, and we tried to be optimistic about this and came up with the Warriors finishing the year 41-41. The memo writes 43.5. Damian LaRoche, 44. Bay Area, 46.7. It's not going to go like that. It's either even numbers or a half. So we'll say 46.5. Bamboo Soldier, 40-ish. Heidi Fall, not giving us a total, but worth mentioning. What a waste of not playing Jonathan Kuminga. Talk about a game where you could have used him. But apparently Kuminga needs rhythms. Otherwise, it's not worth playing him. So it's either you start him and play him extensively, or you don't play him at all. That's Steve Kerr's conclusion with Kuminga. Money checkup, 42. Bay Area. Did you just do a guess, Bay Area? Yeah, I see. You did 46.7 last time. Now you're 46. Palmetto Muddy, 45. Frank B, 43. Dylan Verano, 43. Teo Irvin, 40-42. All right, my guess is going to be, because you always got to keep in mind that the bookies are going to factor public sentiment into this, right? So they don't do this based off logic. They do this based off what the public thinks, which is why you typically see the Lakers with much higher odds than they deserve, because there's a lot of Laker fans out there, and they think very highly of their team, even when they're not that good. The Warriors, and more specifically Steph Curry, those fans can be guilty of that fandom as well. So I'm going to guess 43.5. That's where I'm going to put it at. And if the over-under currently for the Golden State Warriors, oh my God. Did someone say 46.5? Who is our winner? It's 46.5. Bay Area. You deserve a round of applause for that. Absolutely nailed it. Bravo, sir. Bravo. You deserve that. 46.5. That is currently what the bookies have for the OU. Strong recommendation, and take my recommendation for what it's worth, because I am on an epic losing streak right now betting wise. But something tells me bet the under. I think that's a safe way to go. Bet the under. I don't know if the Warriors are going to hit 47 wins. Riz in our chat saying another Warriors content creator following the team beating the worst team in the Western Conference record-wise, the Sacramento Kings, that the title of the video was "The Warriors Are Starting to Click." Hamza Kassem saying that Steph and Jimmy had no help tonight. Absolutely right. The FanDuel player of the game. Yeah, exactly. Teo Irvin, you're absolutely right, who writes 10 games over 500, which is what no, it would be 12 games over 500, because the OU is 46.5. So if you bet the over, you're betting 47. So In other words, the bookies are daring you to bet on the Warriors to finish with a 47-35 record. They're 12 games over 500. Look, and again, that's the power of Stephen Curry to influence the public like that. But so it would be 12 games over 500. If you bet the under on that total, the Warriors finishing 10 games over 500 would still win you that bet. So either drive over to a state where FanDuel is legal, because sadly it still is not legal here in California. Get your ass to Vegas. Whatever you got to do, put the money down. And again, if it's easier to drive to a state where FanDuel is legal, bravo. That's some easy money right there. You can collect that in mid-April when the regular season ends. Chardal with a $1.99 donation. Thank you, brother. And our resident closer. We'll see you later on in the show, I hope, saying thoughts on the Warriors' performance tonight. It was awful. Look, let me rephrase that. First of all, the FanDuel player of the game. It's worth bringing that up because not everyone on the Golden State Warriors was awful tonight. There were two notable exceptions. One being, who else? Wardell Stephen Curry, who led the Warriors in scoring tonight, led all players in scoring tonight with 31 points. But I'm going to give, if the audience doesn't mind, the FanDuel player of the game honors tonight to Jimmy Butler, the other player who showed up. Jimmy had 30 points in this game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, even shot 33% from deep, making 2 threes with his laser arc. Those shots have no arc whatsoever. It is awesome. Added 2 steals as well. Just 2 turnovers. I say just because he played 33 minutes, 42 seconds. That is not bad. So Jimmy Butler, congratulations. Our FanDuel player of the game, 10 of 19 from the field, a perfect 8 of 8 from the free throw line. There you go. So 2 guys stepped up tonight. And Chardal, to answer your question about the Warriors' performance as a whole, and folks, go subscribe to Chardal, please. His channel is on YouTube. It's just SGA Sports Talk. S is in Sam, G is in Gary, A is in Apple, Sports Talk. And my thoughts are this. Those 2 guys showed up, and it would have been nice to see what would have happened if the best players on this team played. But yet for another night, just like the vast majority of this season, we're not seeing the best players play for the Golden State Warriors. We're seeing Steve Kerr's favorites play on the Golden State Warriors. Utter, disgustingly gross abuse of power by a man that I once respected tremendously. But as a head coach, that respect flew away about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. I'm sorry. GP2 should not be playing. He played 16 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm sorry. Brandon Pajemski should not be playing. Thankfully, Pajemski only played 16 minutes, 28 seconds. 16 minutes, 28 seconds, too many, in my humble opinion. You can't find minutes for Jonathan Kuminga? How about you take GP2s and Pajemskis? It ain't rocket science. That would have been 32-plus minutes for Jonathan Kuminga tonight. I hope if he gets traded, it's for some damn good value. I know a lot of people are getting excited because a couple of anonymous social media accounts are out there saying they have sources and that those sources are telling them that a trade is impending with Michael Porter Jr. going to the Warriors. Do not keep your hopes up, please. I'm begging you folks, just to save your own sanity. Don't expect that. Please don't expect that. There is no valid source, at least as of this moment, indicating that Michael Porter Jr. is going to the Golden State Warriors. We don't know what the asking price is. Other teams like the Lakers and Pistons might be interested. Who knows what they might be offering? Who knows what's going on behind the scenes with the Warriors? There is clearly what started 3.5 years ago as a proxy war between Bob Myers and Steve Kerr. Myers said, F this, middle finger, I'm out. And that proxy war is still going on to this day. And I bring that up because we have no idea if Kuminga is going anywhere. I'm trying to just temper expectations here. Lacob likes the kid. To the best of my knowledge, Mike Dunleavy Jr. likes the kid. They're incensed that he's just rotting away on the bench. That was not the plan. So in terms of performance, like D'Anthony Melton, who has been looking good, I don't think he had a bad game tonight. Melton, by the way, this is a stunning statistic. Take it for what it's worth. The Warriors only had 2 players in the positive in net rating tonight. One of those was Trayce Jackson-Davis, and he got those that positive net rating in garbage time. He played the final 3 minutes, 16 seconds of this game, was a +4. So I'm not going to count that. And side note, why he didn't show up until the very end of the game, why he's been DNP'd for who knows how many straight games. Ask Steve Kerr, because he holds all that power. As Rick Barry eloquently put it, an NBA coach has one job: minutes. That's his power. That's his job. Who plays when? Why has Trayce Jackson-Davis been getting DNPs? I don't know. Because there's a lunatic in charge of the Warriors. First Wet saying, I don't know ball. You're right. I don't know a damn. Is a basketball made out of cotton? Are there bouncy balls inside of a basketball? Is that how they bounce? Do basketball players play on ice? Yeah, I don't know shit. You're right. I don't know anything. You're absolutely right. First Wet, if you don't mind doing me a favor, in about 10, 15 minutes, the link will be posted in our chat for people to come on the show. Come on, enlighten me, teach me, please. I know you're not going to, because like all of you other Steve Kerr apologists, you're a gutless coward who's in your mom's basement going, "Where's the meatloaf? Mom, the meatloaf!" We all know that's what you're really doing, but please indulge me. Come on the show and teach me. I'm begging. If you think you know ball and I don't, come on the show in just a second. You're invited. Just do me a favor when you come on the show, take your mom's meatloaf out of your mouth so we can understand you. Please. I thought, but anyways, going back to D'Anthony Melton, I was mentioning that only 2 players were in the positive tonight in net rating. One was Trayce Jackson-Davis, who, again, why is he getting DNPs so many games? Why does he only show? Let me look this up real quick. I'm curious to know when the last time Trayce Jackson-Davis even played, which is sad. He's like one of the rare positives on this team. I know I'm not saying he's an elite center by any regard, but is he the worst player on this team? Hell no. Trayce Jackson-Davis, the last time he played 4 minutes in the Sacramento game. I'm guessing in garbage time. He played 5 minutes in the Clippers game. And then he played against Utah. So where are the DNPs there? So he did not play against Milwaukee, like at all. That was the only DNP for the calendar year. But unless you are like me and look at garbage time minutes as an essential DNP. Yeah, he got 5 minutes garbage time in the Hornets game. I don't know what Steve Kerr's doing. But Trayce Jackson-Davis, one of only 2 players on the positive tonight in net rating, a +4. The other one, D'Anthony Melton, who played 23 minutes and 5 seconds. And make this make sense, he was a +18. No one else was in the positive. Now, on the other side of the coin, net rating negatives, the one stat that Brandon Pajemski supporters used to love bringing up back when he played all his minutes with Steph and Jimmy Butler and Dre. Now he's not, and now the net rating is not amazing. And tonight he was a team worst, -21. And if you want to, I was going to say we could kind of narrow down which lineups did bad, but everyone did bad in net rating. But Podziemski was an extreme tail end of that, minus 21. The next worst, Guy Santos, minus 11. Al Horford, a minus 10. Al Horford did not do anything tonight either. If Al Horford had made some of those three-point attempts, it might have stemmed the momentum that Atlanta had, but those were bricked. Al Horford played 15 minutes, 52 seconds tonight, 1 of 4 from deep, 5 points, did grab 8 boards in this game. Quentin Post was actually an even 0 in net rating. The team was neither winning or losing when he was out there. Post finished with 8 points, 3 boards, 2 of 5 from deep. He did okay there. Stephen Curry, I mentioned, a game high 31 points. However, the three-point shot was not consistent, just 3 of 11 shooting from deep, which is like in the 27, 28% shooting. That's not good. Did have 31 points, though. Was a perfect 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 11 of 21 from the field. You take out the 3 of 11 shooting from deep, and inside the three-point arc, Stephen Curry was 8 for 10. So the 2s were falling for him, not the 3s. But DeAnthony Melton, I mentioned the fact that he was a plus 18 tonight. How many minutes did he play in the fourth quarter? I'm curious if if his net rating was that high because he was part of that garbage time run. Was he DeAnthony Melton in the fourth quarter tonight? Yeah, he played 6 minutes, 32 seconds in the fourth quarter. Was a plus 8. So that means he was still a plus 10 the rest of the game. So DeAnthony Melton had one. Yeah, in the third quarter, Melton was I'm sorry. Third quarter, Melton was a plus 5. So he just had a good night. The only blemish with Melton tonight, however, was the 3-point shot where he was 0 of 5. So he's had a little nice run of outside shooting of late, but Melton tonight, 10 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, but he was 0 of 5 from deep. But with the exception of that, I thought it was a solid game in just 18 minutes. I'm sorry, in 23 minutes and 5 seconds. So Melton did okay too. So here we are. Woman lover BBL is asking what happened to the city merch, those on our website. There was some sort of copyright flag, and I think the Warriors noted again. I decided not to fight it. That stuff wasn't selling well anyways. But someone complained. I guess it's someone from the Warriors. And at the moment, I didn't care. I didn't challenge it. I might. Why, do you want some? Do you want me to challenge it? I mean, we were not selling that swag well, so that's why I didn't really care. Shardall, thank you for the kind words in the chat. Let's see if there's any sound that's come down. I'm curious to know what cliches Steve Kerr uses tonight. What excuses he's going to use. He might bring up turnovers. The Warriors lost that battle. Atlanta committed 9 turnovers, resulting in 11 Warriors points. The Warriors committed 16 turnovers, resulting in 28 Atlanta points. Those guilty of the turnovers included Jimmy Butler with 2. Steph had 3. GP2 had 2. DeAnthony Melton had 2. Will Richard had 3. Will Richard, statistically and otherwise, not a good night tonight, but he also only played 12 minutes and 20 seconds. So sample size is small, but Will Richard, I can't argue that he had a good night. So if you want to say he had a bad night, fair. 0 points in those 12 minutes and 20 seconds, added 3 turnovers, 16 total. One of those 16 was a Stephen Curry foul on for an illegal screen, and they counted that as a turnover. So, but I don't know if that counts as an individual turnover or a team turnover. Nonetheless, and yes, Riz, at least the Niners won. What a crazy game that was. Woo! Unbelievable. Raymond Kelly in our chat saying Moses Moody is so trash. His stat line tonight, if you're curious, he played 16 minutes, 48 seconds. Yeah, I can see why you wrote that. He had 2 points, 0 of 3 from deep, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. That's where all his points came from. Added a rebound and an assist. Yeah, not a good night. Curious to know if Kerr's going to make a change there, at least in terms of the starting lineup. Wouldn't surprise me if Melton was inserted, replacing Moses Moody. We shall see. But let's see if there's any sound that's come down. I was mentioning Steve Kerr's excuses for the night. We could turn this into a drinking game. I'm going to guess turnovers will be the primary thing mentioned. The other excuse I'm going to guess Steve Kerr will bring up is poor three-point shooting. And he won't necessarily be wrong. Not necessarily. He won't be wrong if that's what he brings up. The Warriors did not shoot well tonight from deep. 10 of 42. It's worth adding, though. It's hard to shoot the ball when the guy defending you. Now we're flipping the script on what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. It's a lot harder to shoot three-point shots when the other guy is 5 or 6 inches taller than you. Same exercise. We were discussing a moment ago. I'm I guess the average height for a male human being, 5'10". If the person defending me, and put yourself in use your own height in this exercise as well. So if you're, let's say, 5'7", or if you're watching this and you're 6 feet tall, add 5-6 inches to your height. So if you're a 6 foot tall person and someone is defending you and they're 6'5" or 6'6", do you think it's going to be easy to put up a shot? And if you do get that shot off, do you think it's as efficient as it would be if someone your height was putting up that shot? Begs the question when we're looking at the Warriors as a team shooting 10 of 42 from deep. Good for only 23.8%. Steph, 3 of 11. Draymond had 2 3-point attempts, 0 of 2. Moses Moody, 0 of 3. Al Horford, 1 of 4. Melton, 0 of 5. Will Richard and Buddy Hield. Yes, Buddy Hield got some minutes in this game tonight. That's when the desperation was revealing itself by Steve Kerr. He was 0 of 1. So the team shot 10 of 42. Jimmy Butler, 2 of 6. Quentin Post, 2 of 5. Guy Santos, 1 of 2. Brandon Pajemski, 1 of 2. Guy Santos had 5 points in this game. So that 3 was 3 of his 5 points. Brandon Pajemski, 3 points in this game. That 3-pointer made was his total in points. Brandon Pajemski, by the way, with 1 assist. And the team collectively shot, again, bad, 23.8%. The Atlanta Hawks, meanwhile, shot from deep 38.5%, 15 of 39. Side note, this was my the first time in a while I've watched Jaylen Johnson play 48 minutes. And no, Jaylen Johnson did not play 48 minutes, but I watched a 48-minute basketball game from start to finish with Jaylen Johnson playing. This kid's special. And it begs the question. I need to do this now before I forget. Because Jaylen Johnson's career arc is rather interesting in that he didn't necessarily start his career playing like this. Jaylen Johnson is turning into an elite basketball player. And I think he was drafted the same year as Kuminga. Yeah. Kuminga was picked 7th overall. Jaylen Johnson picked 20th overall in the 2021 draft. And I bring that up because Jaylen Johnson barely played his rookie year. I think he was dealing with a lot of injuries. only played 22 games. His second year, he played 70 games, only averaged 14.9 minutes per game. Similar to Kuminga's rookie year. But year 3, Jaylen Johnson saw his minutes go up to 33.7 minutes per game. The points per game goes up to 16. He shoots 35.5% from deep. Nothing exemplary there, but the Hawks kept playing him. Year 4, Jaylen Johnson's minutes go up to 35.7. This was last year. His scoring goes up to 18.9. Not an all-star level, but an increase. 3-point shooting percentage actually drops to 31.2. Yet the Hawks keep playing him. And then this year, his breakout year, he averages 35.5 minutes per game. 3-point shooting goes up to 37.3 points per game. 37.3 percentage. Let me rephrase that. My grammar is awful. I apologize. Jaylen Johnson's 3-point shooting percentage this year is 37.3%. He's averaging 23.7 points per game. This is why I have argued endlessly that you have to give young players minutes to see them achieve their full potential. And Jaylen Johnson is a textbook example of that. Meanwhile, you have the way Steve Kerr treats his young players, and you see the complete lack of development. And yet you have a lot of buffoons out there, the Kerr apologists, still going, it's not Kerr's fault. Jaylen Johnson, yeah, I agree with where are you? With Zyko the First saying Steve Kerr would DNP Jaylen Johnson. Yeah, he probably would. Because last year, Jaylen Johnson shot 31% from deep. And Kerr would have been like, anybody could see it. He just doesn't space the floor. Anybody can see it. He probably would say it like that too. Anybody could see it. Build like DRD writes in all caps. Attention, everyone. In case you didn't know, Kuminga's getting traded. Are we still talking about him? Build like Dr. D. How do you know this? Enlighten me. How do you know what no one else knows? What are you basing this on? Because if you think the DNPs are the reason why you think he's going to get traded, did you forget the DNPs at the end of last year? Do not assume shit. I hope you're right, because this is a joke to keep him at this point. Just waste a whole year of it, a whole other year. Oh my God. Oh my God. We got a guy in our chat who's going, my sources are, trust me, bro. Just trust me. Oh my God, dude, that is comedy. Anyways, Jaylen Johnson is looking like a player who could be very special in this game. And I like Quinn Snyder, their coach. Good for them. They got rid of Trae Young, the way the Warriors should get rid of Steve Kerr. Atlanta's doing things right. The memo is saying Kuminga never got DNPs in the regular season last year, right? Wrong. He got DNP'd the final 3 games of the season. In case you forgot that loss to the Clippers, which forced the Warriors into the play-in instead of securing the 6th seed. And 2 games before that, including that disastrous loss to the Spurs. And then the first round of the playoffs. Oh, and now we got a lot of people with different sources. Teo Irvin in the chat saying his source told, oh my, what? What? Ladies and gentlemen, sources tell Teo Irvin this was Steve Kerr's last game. Oh. I wish you were right, Teo. I love your sense of humor. Let's see if there's any sound yet from one of my favorite YouTube accounts, Basket Man. Let's listen to Steve Kerr first. Is he going to blame turnovers or three-point shooting? Let's find out. Here's Steve Kerr following tonight's game. A complete disaster. Warriors trailed by 25 in the fourth quarter, eventually losing by 13. And after the game, here is their head coach, Steve Kerr.
Steph basically said he felt like y'all might have played like 40 good minutes, but 8 bad minutes. What was the trouble, do you feel like, tonight?
Particularly, I think it was all about Atlanta. They just played a great game. We couldn't turn them over. They shot it lights out, 32 assists, 7 turnovers. I didn't think we played poorly. I didn't think we played that well. Obviously, 10 for 42. We needed to shoot better, but more than anything, they just played a great game and deserved it.
Steve, young, long, athletic team from the Hawks. Blazers kind of built similarly. You guys obviously have had some struggles against them this year. What will be the
Hold on 1 second. I have a question here I want to answer real fast. Jeff Riggenbach is asking, why does Anthony Slater always get the first question? The way it works in that room that Steve Kerr is in right now, there's, I'd say, 5, maybe 6 rows of tables. And those rows are significant. Whoever sits in that first row, and the first row, the seats are assigned, they're considered the tier 1s. And there are some tier 1s in the second row as well. But my point is the people sitting in that first row will get priority in terms of questions being asked, which is why the next time I ask Steve Kerr a question, or when I do anytime, it's never after a game, because there just is not enough time for someone like me, a tier 2, to get in a question. So it's only going to be the tier 1, sometimes the last 2 or 3 questions. So pregame is when a schlub like me can squeeze a shot in by getting a question through to Kerr. But to answer your question, Jeff, it's because Anthony Slater is tier 1. He's seated in the first row. It might not always be him per se. Usually, like, the reporters will raise their hand, and the Warriors will have 2 PR practitioners on either side of the room, each with a microphone, and they give the mic to the media person. The media person asks the question and hands the mic back. That's how the process works. I hope I answered your question. Let's listen to, I think Dalton Johnson is asking the question now, of NBC Sports Bay Area.
Young, long, athletic team from the Hawks. Blazers kind of built similarly. You guys obviously have had some struggles against them this year. What will be the quickest switch for next game?
Well, I'm pleased with the process. It didn't feel like a high turnover game. I mean, obviously we ended up with 16, and I think we had 3 offensive fouls. It was not a loose game on our part, and not a good shooting night. So we've just got to stick with what we've been doing the last few weeks. Keep it simple, take care of the ball, and obviously knock down some shots. That always helps. But again, I don't think we were that bad. I thought it was more just they played a great game.
Oh my God, this guy is delusional. Side note, the Golden State Warriors after tonight's loss are 21-19, a whole 2 games above 500. Nearly every win this year is against a bad opponent. The only good team I could think of, and I'll go through the schedule to confirm this. In fact, I'll do it right now, because the only good team I could think of that the Warriors have beaten this year are the Spurs. Outside of the first 2 weeks of the season, when Kerr actually was rolling out a lineup resembling a real, legitimate, contending NBA team. Because remember, in the first 2 weeks of the season, they beat the Lakers opening night. They beat the Nuggets. They beat the Clippers, Grizzlies. I know those weren't like necessarily noteworthy games, but they did beat the shit out of those teams as expected. And then all it took was those 2 losses at Milwaukee and Indiana, with Stephen Curry coming down with a flu or whatever for Steve Kerr to go, nope, no more Kuminga. It's all his fault. It's all his fault. We're 4-3. Anyways, their wins this year: Lakers, Nuggets, Memphis, Clippers. I guess the Suns can count as a good team, sort of. They're the 7 seed. Pacers, Pelicans, Jazz, Pelicans, Cavaliers, maybe. I mean, there were maybe. I still don't know what the hell that team is. Bulls, Suns, Orlando Magic. They were missing 3 of their 5 starters that night, but whatever. Mavericks, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Utah, Milwaukee, Sacramento. That's who they beat this year. And yet we have this Putz saying that he likes the way they're going. Let's hear that beginning part again.
I mean, obviously we ended up with, I'm pleased with the process.
How are you? What's so pleasing about that? Was a great question, by the way, by Dalton Johnson. A great question. He basically called out Kerr for how he's handling longer teams. And Kerr starts by saying, I like the process. A process where they beat bad teams and decent teams who are above beat the shit out of your squad. You're 2 games above 500. That's the process you like? And Teo Irvin's having for Milwaukee, when we're going through that schedule, they're 5 games below 500. So thank you for that. Unbelievable. In the chat, James Bowers asks or brings up that there's a YouTube video with Monty Poole and the big ogreish bully, wannabe bully, Bonte Hill, where Monty Poole says through high-ranking sources that Kuminga is 60% traded if everything plays out. Here's my response to that. My high-ranking sources say that Kuminga is 55% traded if everything plays out. What the hell is that, dude? 60%? Where are you coming up with that? Are you using a scientific method to come up with that 60% number? Get the hell out of here. James, not you. Just anybody who pretends they have any clue what's going to happen here. I'm not saying he's not going to get traded. What I am saying is, who the hell knows? And to put a figure up like that, 60%, dude, you're making me laugh. Congratulations. Let's listen to this guy who thinks the process is going amazingly, Steve Kerr.
Pleased with the process. It didn't feel like a high turnover game. I mean, obviously we ended up with 16, and I think we had 3 offensive fouls. It was not a loose game on our part. And not a good shooting night. So we've just got to stick with what we've been doing the last few weeks. Keep it simple, take care of the ball, and obviously knock down some shots. That always helps. But again, I don't think we were that bad. I thought it was more just they played a great game.
You mentioned the turnovers. You think you had 5 in the third quarter. They had go on that big run. Just what did you see there the second half of that third quarter?
Well, they're long and athletic. They did a really good job defensively. They did a lot of switching. We got into a couple late clock situations where they, kind of jumbled us up with their switching, and then we turned it over. So that stretch was a killer for sure. But again, these nights.
Latasha, genuine question. I'm being dead serious with you here. Latasha writes in her chat, I can't wait till Jonathan Kuminga is off my team. I love the fact that you call the Warriors your team, yet you have pure and utter vitriol for one of its players, a lottery pick at that. And why? Because he once spoke up about this buffoon of a head coach? Is that why? And here's the second part. You say you're tired of hearing about a player that's not even good. What makes you think he's not good? Do you think you should be an NBA scout? Or do you trust this clown when it comes to talent evaluation? What makes you think he's not good? Everybody who's played in the NBA, and when I say everybody, I mean everybody, current and former thinks Kuminga at the bare minimum is average to above average with the potential for stardom. So what makes you think he's not even good? Because you know more than us? Or because you listen to this guy? Unbelievable, man. And what really peeves me is that folks like you love to paint me like I'm the crazy one here. When, I'm sorry, anyone with half an IQ knows this guy's full of shit. And anyone who calls Kuminga a bad player when there is not enough data, there is not a big enough sample size to come to that conclusion. This guy ruins careers, and you're sitting here defending it. Why? Because he's soft-spoken? Unbelievable. Unbelievable shit, man. The amount of ignorance in this world, your sample size of that are the people who still think this guy knows what the hell he's doing. Unreal shit.
Happen. There's talent all over the league. These guys are young and athletic and long, and they can give you a lot of trouble.
What's your philosophy on how long to keep your starters in a down game?
It was a tough one tonight. I mean, I was ready to take our guys out with probably 6 minutes left. I think they were up like 23 or something, and I was ready to pull the guys, but we made a little bit of a run, and it's a little bit of a feel thing with this group. You know, with Jimmy, Dre, Steph. I'll pull them a little earlier than I would have, 6-7 years ago with younger legs. So you just have to feel it. I felt like we needed to give it one more chance there after we fell behind by whatever it was.
Friendly reminder, anytime someone comes into the chat and like NKNK says, I got a sample size with Steve Kerr, it includes 4 rings. And I can't tell if you're being sarcastic and mocking those who actually do bring that stat up. Friendly reminder, Casey Jones has 12 rings, 4 as a coach, 8 as a player. No one talks about that guy being a genius for the exact same reason no one should be talking about this guy as being a genius. It is easy to win rings when you sit there and have greatness next to you carrying the weight. This dude right here, master coattail rider. 5 rings as a player with Michael Jordan and Tim Duncan. 4 rings as a coach with Stephen Curry. And 2 of those 4 rings were Kevin Durant was also on that team. But sure, he had something to do with it. More clown nonsense.
Was, early fourth, and we made a little bit of a run, so I kept him out there for a few more minutes.
You mentioned the shooting. You get 30 from Jimmy, you get 30 from Steph. The role players don't really add in as much. What sort of was going on with that? It's a basketball game. Last game, the bench had like 60 something points. So every game's different. We needed some shots to go in. We needed a couple guys to get hot. It didn't happen, and it's the way it goes.
Luke Kennard scored a season high 22 points tonight, scored all 4 of their threes in that third quarter. A lot of them kind of right in front of your guys' bench. Was there any KYP issues there? Or was it just him kind of catching fire?
I think 2 of them were off turnovers, corner threes. They have a lot of playmaking with Jaylen Johnson and Daniels and Alexander Walker. So they can break you down from multiple spots. And so they broke our defense down. Okongwu hit a couple threes from the top. Kennard got going. So like I said, they played a great game.
Steve, specific to Brandon and Moses, they've had some really high points this year. They've also struggled at times. Why do you think the consistency night to night has eluded them?
Well, that's part of being in this league is, advancing. I've always felt like, the great players play really well like 4 out of every 5 nights, and role players, it's kind of 2 out of every 4. There's a reason the guys make all the money. They're good almost every night. And for most of the league, guys like me when I played, it's kind of an every other night type thing. And if you can get to, 4 out of 5, you're going to make a whole lot of money, and you're going to become one of those guys. But that's all. It's all this league is the great players can do it every night. The younger players are trying to develop that consistency. Thanks, you guys.
Oh God. Let me post the link here if anybody wants to join the program. I'm sure you folks have some thoughts. And for the haters, when I say haters, I mean Steve Kerr apologists. I mean Jonathan Kuminga haters. I mean people who hate me because I'm just trying to be honest. But you clowns don't want to hear that. Tough shit. You have every other show out there to go to if you want cheerleader content. If you want raw stuff, like the Warriors are amazing no matter what. Every other show does that for you. So you can go there. The link is open. And on that note, there is another soundbite or another post-game press conference courtesy of one of my favorite YouTubers. His name is Baskin Man. And Baskin Man just publishes press conferences. It's awesome. Doing some holy work here. So here is Stephen Curry after the game. That'll be the extent of the sound bites. Steph, again, one of only two players on the night. I was going to say one of only two to score in double digits, but that's incorrect because Melton had 10 points. Steph, one of two players tonight to score 30 or more. Steph with 31, D'Anthony Melton with 30. And let's hear from Steph. And then we'll bring on, I see Julian Bashir. I see Memo. I see Bad Ombre. Of course, I don't see any Kerr apologists because they're all just cowards in their mom's basement or dad's. Here's Steph.
What did you feel like went wrong tonight?
There were two runs at the end of the second and the third. They created all the separation. I mean, they played well the whole game.
And again, friendly reminder, I covered this at the beginning of the show. That run in the second quarter was when Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond Green. Draymond, by the way, a very quiet night offensively. 5 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. The triple singles are just not, they're not a good look for Draymond Green. But the lineup that he's referring to in the second quarter, and again, this is where it's a shame that Steph is the company man who will defer to Steve Kerr's decisions instead of speaking up, because you can't surround those three with Podziemski and GP2 and expect positive results. Maybe against the Kings, maybe against the Jazz, not against the Hawks, not against the Trailblazers, not against anyone who is bringing size, athleticism, talent to the table. It ain't going to work. You'd think that's a common sense thought, not to Steve Kerr.
They're young athletic team, fresh look. So you knew they were going to come in, and obviously what they did in Denver, and they're excited to get out there, and it showed. We had some resiliency.
NKNK is saying I go wild on people who disagree with me. Are you referring to one person 2 weeks ago who has a long history with the show of dropping N-bombs? I brought this guy Chosen on the show a couple weeks ago. That was civil. And on top of that, if you think you know your shit, go wild on me. What, are you too soft to handle like someone who might get excited? What does that say about you that you're too weak to handle an impassioned back and forth? Says a lot about the Kerr apologists when they can't handle the smoke and they sit here and whine that they can't handle me. Are you sitting here saying I'm scary? Are you sitting here saying like I'm too smart for you, or that you're afraid that my voice is going to get raised? Are you that easily triggered? Are you that thin-skinned? Wrong. Sorry. Try again. Oh no, he might go wild on me. Oh, the horror in this crazy world. I must be so sheltered and privileged that, God forbid, someone with a differing opinion might actually, oh no, get excited. And again, the one example you're referring to is a guy who was dropping N-bombs in our chat, and I had my fill of that ignoramus. Sorry. Jesus Christ. Exactly, Yarius. Apparently the people who can't handle that need their safe space in this world. God damn it, dude.
Some fight, but gave up too many open threes. Luke Kennard, a couple turnovers that gave him open looks, easy transition. So it's crazy. You can play 40 good minutes and lose it in the two 4-minute stretches. The way the NBA is, that's what happened tonight.
Steph, 10 of 42 as a team from three. What do you think? I guess the quality of looks you guys were getting from behind the arc was it just a tough shooting night, or what did you see?
I can't diagnose the whole every shot, but I feel like early in each half, it wasn't as like the ball didn't have as much energy as it usually does. You got to credit their defense. They have a lot of athleticism, length. They like to switch a lot, so a lot of our off-ball actions weren't necessarily, timing up right. And so, certain games you can feel like you're pressing if the ball is not hopping around, and clearly each possession, that was a good shot. So we can obviously correct that, but they had a really good defensive effort to try to take away some pet actions and stuff like that. Feel like we could probably get downhill a little bit more when they were hugged up on shooters, but Monday morning quarterbacking right now.
Stephen, what are the, I guess, I don't want to say secrets, but what are the best ways to attack a team that's built like the Hawks are with the length and the athleticism to attack their defense?
I think the second half we tried. Usually out there's going to be one or two guys that you can kind of go at to create an advantage. Doesn't mean they're just going to let you, that Olay defense, just let you get to the paint. But, you can create an advantage and then make them react, get the ball moving side to side. We did that well for short spurts out of the game. And then you just got to be able to, have composure and attack if you have a little bit of an angle just to get downhill. I think we struggled to get paint touches tonight. The ball was kind of just swinging around the perimeter, and they're able to keep 5 bodies on bodies. Like that's usually what good defenses do. Tonight we didn't have that answer quick enough.
Steph, Moses and Pods both struggled tonight, and they've had their ups and downs this season. What do you say to a younger player when they're struggling to find the consistency the group needs?
It's part of the journey. I will say, like, my first was this year 5 for Moses, year 3 for BP. Is that right? Because they're here, everything's on spotlight, and there's going, you feel like it was probably a heavier weight than even I experienced early in my career. But you just kind of have to, diagnose or be honest with yourself after each game, what you could have done better, but not lose your confidence. You're going to get another opportunity in the next game to make an impact. Quick decisions, shoot when you're open, don't be results-based. It's about the process of how you're playing, how you're approaching the game that ends up helping us, in the short term and helping you as a player in the long term.
Steph, is there a margin that you feel like if you guys can keep it within, even if you're trailing, that you can still get it at the end of the games, that there's a certain margin that it's within, and you feel like if I'm close enough, I can get us there?
Yeah. We cut it to 15 with, I think it was 4 minutes left, something like that. There was still belief at that point. When you look up and it's 20 with 6 minutes, you got about a minute or two to, have a realistic shot. But, yeah, I feel like if it's within, 10 to 15 with more than 3 minutes or something like that, it feels like that's within reason. I know the percentages are not in your favor, but it's worth, staying out there and trying to grind out a couple possessions to see how it goes.
To follow up on the question on Moses and Brandon, what do you imagine might be like the challenges of being a role player on the Warriors, like for this franchise specifically, with you, Draymond, and Jimmy on the team?
It's all about winning. And I think that's a good end. It's a challenging thing, but it's a great thing in terms of building your character and, bringing the best out of you over the long term. It's just, we obviously have a lot of attention. There's a lot of noise. We have a very dedicated, loyal, passionate fan base. Everybody in this room who covers us on a daily basis, you're going to have all these reads and projections and grading of each player. And it's part of the nature of the success that we've had. And yeah, if you embrace it, I think winning is fun, and the levels that we've been at none of that's guaranteed in this league. And so you gotta have to take the good and the challenge with what environment we've created here.
Steph, not so much related to tonight's game, but how do you sort of describe Al Horford's impact these last few games? It seems like he's getting back to the way he's played most of his career, and how much do you guys need him to be healthy and productive the way he's been here for a week or two?
He's been a huge part of, some big wins for us recently. And the consistency, him and Melt have been, they're like anchors to lineups for different reasons. And I know Al was struggling early just to be, available and healthy and dealing with some injuries that kept him out. That consistency allows him to just get comfortable. And on both ends of the floor, he's a presence in those short spurts that he's out there. Like you said, tonight was difficult. Just they're a very interesting team, kind of positionless, like how you call it small ball, because there's like 6'9" guys out there all over the place. But, having Al available helps us on a nightly basis just because he's heady IQ, shoot the ball, play defense, just gives you a great presence out there.
That it? All right, that was Steve Kerr. That was Stephen Curry following tonight's loss, which again drops the Warriors to 21-19, and that's sadly the precarious position the Warriors are in, thanks to not just the horrendous start to the year. Horrendous is a strong word, but it was a bad start, and by their standards, it was horrendous. But I went through the schedule and read off all the teams that they beat. Let me read off to you the teams that this team has not beaten. In other words, who have they lost to this year? So you can get a better picture of just where this Warriors club stands relative to the competition. And then Julian Bashir, you'll be up first. They lost to the Portland Trailblazers. They lost them 3 times this year. But that was their first loss of the season. They lost to Milwaukee. They lost to the Pacers. They lost to the Kings. Those are all bad teams, by the way. They did lose those games. They lost to the Nuggets. They lost to the Thunder. They lost to the Magic. They lost to the Heat. They lost to Portland again. They lost to the Rockets. They lost to OKC. They lost to Philly. They lost to the Timberwolves. Portland a third time. Phoenix, who they've also beaten. And those two teams are clearly very close to each other as these 7-8 seeds in the West. They lost to Toronto. They lost to OKC, Clippers, and then the Hawks tonight. And again, their wins, I'll read them to you one more time. And I'm not going to read off the first 2 because that was a different team. Back then, Kuminga was still playing. They beat Memphis, the Clippers, Phoenix, and again, Phoenix is one of the rare teams with a above 500 record that they've beaten this year. I think the only two teams with an above 500 record the Warriors have beaten this year in the post Kuminga era is Phoenix and San Antonio. And with San Antonio, you needed Steph dropping 49 and 46. So Phoenix, Indiana, those two Spurs games, Pelicans, Utah, New Orleans. Oh, Cleveland. Okay, Cleveland, I think, is another above 500 team. What is Cleveland right now? 22 and 18. So they did beat the Cavaliers. The Bulls, Phoenix, Orlando, technically, even though they were missing 3 out of 5 starters, the Mavericks, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Utah, Milwaukee, Sacramento. So the only winning teams the Warriors have beaten this year, Spurs, Cavaliers, Suns, Magic. And the Magic were missing 3/5 of their starting lineup. That's not impressive. And yet, that's what Kerr refers to as making progress. Unbelievable, man. Hamza Kassem asked in the chat, if the Warriors don't trade Kuminga, who do you think they're trading? Could be nobody. I mean, you need to have a willing partner on the other side. So it's the question then becomes like, do teams want Buddy Hield? No. If you're trading Moody, maybe teams might be interested in him. I still feel like Pajemski for Keon Ellis of the Kings would be the best trade imaginable that you can make. Is Ryan Leong? He just texted me. Is he here? Oh, Ryan Leong's here. Sorry about that, Ryan. You were stashed away in the green room. How you doing, bud?
That's all good, man. Good. Yeah, good chatting with you.
I'm sorry if you're waiting. That's a slick Niners jacket, by the way.
Thank you.
Ryan, you
Yes.
are notorious for wearing a starter jacket. It's like classic ones.
Yes.
What is that? I've never seen that one.
Oh, it's just a white Niners. Yeah.
I've never seen a white Niners starter jacket.
They're out there. They're not as common. The common one, of course, is the gold. They have a black, they have a red, the white, and then they have one that has the reverse, the 49ers logo on the front, and then the big oval on the back.
How was the scene at Chase? First of all, Ryan, it's been a long time since you've joined us.
Yeah.
People have been asking about you. Last year you joined us for so many post-game shows. People can follow you on Twitter at Ryan Leong. It's super easy. They should subscribe to Bay Area Sports Wrap.
Yes, they should.
For NBC News Radio. Well, great to see you, man. Long overdue. How are you? And how was the vibe at Chase Center tonight? Because I heard people were leaving early. And I feel like if this game was played at Oracle, they would not be leaving early. They'd be booing. That to me is the difference between the two places. How are you doing, brother? And your reaction?
No question. Thank you. Yeah, no, you're right. No question. I mean, the vibe here has been different since day one. I mean, from the first time they played a game here, the vibe wasn't the same. However, I will say this: the vibe at Oracle, some of the games wasn't great either because the fans started getting priced out, so they couldn't. The diehards couldn't show up anymore. I mean, it got really expensive at Oracle the last couple of years there because of all the success the Dubs had, So,
right.
I mean, I say this much. I don't know a lot about the Hawks either, and maybe that's why they're doing so well on the road. They're 7-2 now against Western Conference teams on the road. So that means 7 of their 20 wins are on the road. That's what 1/3 of their wins, right? I mean, that's impressive.
It is impressive.
So,
and I'm guessing a lot of Atlanta's losses this year are with Trae Young. Makes me wonder what their record is, even in these, because they have a losing home record, a winning road record. But it wouldn't surprise me if the losing home record coincided with a lot of Trae Young games at home. And
it could. Gone. I mean, we'd have to do the math on that. But yeah, I mean, they got CJ McCollum, right? They traded for him, and I guess Corey Kispert's another guy that they got. 2 guys with good veteran presence. I mean, I still wish McCollum was on the Blazers, but I'm being biased here because one time he had a post-game press conference, and what was he wearing in the press conference? Old school Blazers starter jacket. So So
nice glasses, by the way. That's a clean look, man.
Yeah, new look. Yeah, got those. Yeah, I got them when I was in Japan. So I just got back from a trip to Japan, so with my family for the holidays.
I did not know that. Welcome back.
Yeah. So I missed 3 Warrior games. So I missed the game against the Magic. I missed the game on Christmas, and then I missed one other game. So there were 3 games that I was missing during that time.
Ryan, one of many arguments I've been making that in regards to Steve Kerr committing borderline malpractice with his coaching job is the endless reliance on ball handlers, like needing 2, sometimes 3 point guards out there.
Yeah.
You look at Atlanta tonight, 0 point guards. They have a unique lineup where their starting backcourt tonight was Dyson Daniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Right.
I would not call either one of them a traditional point guard by any means. And I bring that up because that's what most teams are doing now. Most NBA teams have come to the realization that the traditional point guard is an outdated position. And again, Stephen Curry's not a traditional point guard either because he's the greatest 3-point shooter ever. But the fact that Kerr is so outdated in his beliefs, to me, does not benefit the Warriors. Your thoughts, if any, on that? Maybe I'm out of line saying that. I don't know.
I'll say this. I think the longer I've seen Kerr be the coach, we've seen him kind of fall back into like familiar patterns, right? So that's what I'll say about him. From what I gather, my experience of being around him, and he's a good talker with the press. We know that. I mean, one of the things I noticed is, I covered the Valkyries last year too, and Natalie Nakase was not nearly as good of a talker as Steve Kerr is. I mean, Nakase, if she didn't want to tell the media something, she would lie about it, but she didn't do it in a very good fashion. Whereas, I mean, Kerr's a slick talker. He's a good talker. He knows how to. He knows how to deflect a question without getting irritated or seemingly upset. Because I upset Doug Christie the other night. I asked him. I said, "Hey, you have 3 All-Star players on your roster." Now, granted, when I said All-Star, I meant All-Star caliber players, and he took issue with that. But it's true. He's got, DeRozan. He's got Zach LaVine, and he's got Russell Westbrook, and they've got 8 effing wins, right? Did they win? They probably lost again tonight, didn't they? What happened tonight? Did they lose again?
I don't know why we're even talking about the Kings, but I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah,
the Sacramento Kings, the most downtrodden franchise I think in the NBA currently. Dude, they beat the Rockets.
There you go. See,
how did that happen?
So here's the weird thing. So now they have 9 wins, and in their 9 wins, 1 against the Warriors and 1 against the Rockets. So there you go. But anyway, I digress. But the reason I bring that up, like I said, is Kerr does a really good job of not getting irritated, or if he is, he doesn't show it. So,
Well, and Ryan, the only pushback I'll give to that is you rarely see hard questions asked of Steve Kerr at the same time. It's not like he's being challenged up there, with questions that could frustrate him. In the rare moments where he is, at least I do see him flustered sometimes. And again, I could be, maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's just my opinion. It's a lot of softballs. I feel like being tossed underhanded.
I think also because one of the reasons I think for that is because Kerr is going to answer a question like a certain way no matter what. You remember my colleague Marco asked a question to Kerr a while back, and you weren't sure who it was. Great question.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was Mark. He asked about Seth Curry's DNP. It was fantastic. And Steve Kerr did look a little flustered at that, I thought.
No, I think you're right, because I think it threw him for a loop, because first of all, it was Marco asking a question. Marco does a good job with that, and he just, I think it threw Kerr for a loop too, because it was somebody different, somebody that doesn't normally ask him questions. So, yeah, I mean, there's a fine line you walk when you're covering a team. See, it's a little bit easier in some ways for you, Cyrus, since you're not here that often. You can kind of have, you're sort of like on an island, if so to speak. You know what I mean? You can sort of say what you want, and you don't have to worry about.
I still would if I was there, Ryan. I feel like this is less about me not being there and more so just about the current environment is so like. There's such a sycophant nature, dude. Like, I'll bring beat reporters on this show, and again, none of this is you. I'm not saying you in anywhere are guilty of this, but a lot of people are. Like the beat reporters will come on here. Like, for example, I had Danny Emmerman and Sam Gordon on the show, and Danny Emmerman, like the way I was talking about Kerr, his reaction to that was, "Wow, I wasn't expecting such a radicalized a program." That's how he described me being critical of Kerr. Sam Gordon, I asked him, can you say just one negative thing about Steve Kerr? He couldn't, or he wouldn't, either or.
More like he wouldn't, yeah.
Connor Letourneau, one of my closest friends, he was a beat reporter, covered the Warriors for 6 years.
Yep.
And him and I talk almost daily, and he feels the way I feel. Like, he's in shock that this press pool just does not challenge Kerr. Like, the whole purpose of being in the media is to be inquisitive, is to get answers. And I don't see that with the current media climate. I don't know. I don't know if you see that the same way or not, but
no, I do. I mean, I know where you're coming from. Again, I guess for me, again, because of the role I have as a media member, and I consider myself low in the totem pole. I don't want to make any waves here, right? Because I just don't want to be in a position where it's like, I get somebody from the PR staff sending me an email or wanting to talk to me, and then I feel like I'm in grade school again, and I got detention. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
because that does happen. I mean, it's happened. That happened to me here, but it's happened to me it really hasn't happened here. But I've had it happen to me at the San Jose Sharks. I've had it happen to me at the San Francisco Giants, the Oakland A's. I've had PR guys just come and yeah, these people are control freaks, man. I mean, they are. They're flat out control freaks, and they will they will sort of like impose their will on you, so to speak. So it is interesting because we may live in a so-called free country, but there's a lot of things you can't do. Like, for instance, it was Jewish Heritage Night. I don't think it would be a good idea if I walked in here wearing a certain symbol.
No.
Right.
And again, what I'm trying to say is you can challenge Kerr without being disrespectful, without crossing any lines of conduct that may elicit, the PR. Like, you could ask questions like what Marco did. Like what Marco asked about the Seth Curry DNP, that was very valid. Dalton, I forgot his last name. Forgive me. Johnson of NBC Sports Bay Area. Like, I thought he had asked a great question tonight, and it was the second question asked of Kerr, which was like how the team handles these longer, more athletic opponents. And Kerr gave one of his typical answers. My point is, it's like you got to challenge this guy. You have to you can ask tough questions that are not breaking rules, that are not like boundary crossers, if you will. Like, I don't know, but I also hear what you're saying too, where teams do get very sensitive, and it's just but he's the head coach. I've never seen.
I think it's also. I will say this too. I will say this. It also does get back to like the kind of relationship the coach has with the media. Because I remember when Mark Jackson was the coach, you could ask Mark Jackson anything, and he would get pretty irritated all the time, right? I mean, he just did, and he just. I just recall that he would kind of bristle at even the most mundane questions. You know what I mean? He was a good preacher and all, but I mean, well, we've seen it, right? I mean, he was an okay coach. He wasn't. If I had to rank Mark Jackson as a head coach in the annals of Warriors history, I'd give him, on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 6 or 7.
Why that low?
Because he was a good coach, but he didn't really like do anything earth shattering. I mean, Steph Curry didn't really turn into Steph Curry until Kerr became the coach. It's like I kind of remember this. The offense was kind of stagnated under Jackson. They would run too many plays and try to but they were good on defense. Their defense was very strong, but their offense was kind of a little discombobulated. Didn't quite get the right mix until Kerr came in, at least as far as the offense goes.
Ryan, do you remember what Warriors? I'm a little surprised hearing you say all this, because you do remember what Warriors basketball was like before Mark Jackson became head coach.
Oh yeah, it was horrible. Keith Smart was the previous coach before him. So no, I'm saying, yeah, Mark Jackson did take the team to another level. They became a winning team, but even then they could get to about the Western Conference Finals and they'd get eliminated.
Well, they didn't get that far, but
or second round, yeah.
His first year, they were. I want to look up his coaching record right now, because
first year was not good. First year was rough.
First year was not good, but second year, they're the 6th seed. They upset the Nuggets in the first round. They actually get a playoff win in San Antonio. That was the first time they won a game in San Antonio in nearly 20 years. Pushed that team to 6 games. I thought Steph was already on the come up at that point.
He was on the come up, but he still didn't do the things he's doing now, is what I'm getting at. He didn't.
But Ryan, do you think Steph would not have gotten to the level he's at now if Mark Jackson had been given more than 3 years?
Yeah, because even initially, there's that famous play where Kerr was throwing his hands up in the air. Remember that when Curry broke the ankles of CP3?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the play where they kind of like really, where Curry kind of, I think, came into his own. People were like, "Oh my God, this guy! You don't coach him like other people, right? You just let him go and do his thing." So I just don't know if he would have reached the level that he's at now if Mark Jackson stayed the coach. Honestly,
maybe we'll never know. But
we'll say this because it's true. Even when he was at Davidson, he did do some crazy things. But again, I just think under Kerr it became next level, at least as far as his play goes.
Yeah, and again, we'll never know if it was a coincidence or if Kerr, had some magic touch. I do remember the players being absolutely shell shocked that Mark Jackson was let go. They didn't want that, which is a
Right.
huge reason why I keep saying this. They will survive. They are grown men who life will go on if they get a new coach again. It's not going to be
Right.
the end of the world for them. But I just remember the Warriors in my entire lifetime until Mark Jackson became the coach never played defense. They never played defense under Nelly. They never played defense
That's right.
under
No, you're
George
right.
Karl, Michael
Absolutely right.
Montgomery, Dave Cowens, Keith
Yep,
Smith,
yep.
like, Gary St. Jean, PJ Carlissimo. They never played defense under any of these guys. Mark Jackson comes in, and in 2 seconds, suddenly like these amateurs that we've been watching for 30 plus years turn into men. And all of a sudden they're a playoff team. And all of a sudden, they're the whole country's on notice. And then Kerr comes in and turns them into a champion. And I get that extra leap, but I personally will never be ungrateful for what Mark Jackson started.
No, it's true. You're right. I mean, he definitely set the table. I mean, he was a table setter for sure.
But that's just me.
All right, so I take it back. Let's say I'll give him a 7-8 then as a coach.
That's where I was gonna go. I was a little surprised here. And again, a lot of that for me is just the memory of the decades, dude. Like,
I mean, I've been covering the Warriors since '98, so I was there for.
Exactly.
I was there for all those. Let's see, my first year of covering then was PJ Carlissimo's like second year, right? So yeah.
Were you there at the practice where Sprewell coached?
No, I was not. That was the year before. That was his first year. You know, it's funny. That was his first year, and the PR guy who was who's handling the Warriors that year, I forget his name, but he was new to the Warriors, and he got thrown. I mean, you want to talk about getting thrown to the Lions' den? I mean, that was just a PR disaster for the Warriors. Of course. I mean, you know, but see, that's what's amazing. I mean, I'll tell you this much: I got to give Lacob and Goober credit, because under their ownership, all those types of things that the Warriors used to be known for have disappeared, and they were known for like every single possible train wreck you could think of media-wise that could happen to the Warriors did happen to the Warriors.
I feel like the Warriors before this current ownership, the whole thing was a PR disaster.
Oh, it was, no question. I mean, the only thing that the Warriors did right was they had guys like Raymond Ritter there. I mean, Raymond's been there since '98. I mean, the year I started was his first year, so you know, he stayed on with the squad with the team and kept all the PR. You know, all the PR guys that are basically there now are pretty much guys that came, you know, that were around in the previous ownership group. You know, at least some of the guys. So,
and Raymond Ritter, in case folks don't know, was mentored by the great Lakers PR guy. What was his name? John Black or
John Black? Yes,
John Black. Yeah, who unceremoniously his tenure ended earlier than it should have. I thought.
Yes,
but that was.
Yes.
But that's who Raymond Ritter got his tutelage from. And again, Ritter's just a legend. He's been the PR guy the entire time I've been in this media scene for 25 years. And as you mentioned, he started 2 years before I started interning for a legacy media organization, just like you did. But you started again a couple years before I did. We're both old timers now.
Yeah.
I know you got to run. We don't see you that often. But dude, it's always a pleasure. I don't know why we're not doing this more often. So are your duties extended? Is that why we don't see you as much? Like,
no, it's just that I've been trying to do more video for Bay Area Sports Wrap. So I could come on. I'll probably just keep doing my phone because my computer. I think I need to get a new laptop because my laptop's just getting old. It's kind of crapping out. So I'm talking to you right now on my phone, but seems to be okay, right?
It looks great. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Good.
It's clean. So, let's just do this. Even if it's just like 10 minutes, join us, man. Like you're missed.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Sounds good.
All right.
Let's do that. So, well, I'm not looking forward to Tuesday because, as you know, that's an NBC special. And when I say an NBC special, we're talking an 8 p.m. start.
Is it really?
Yeah, really. Yes. I hate those games, but you know, it's all about television. Hey, the late great Hank Greenwald once said, and I'll give him this. He said, for television, if they want a game on at 2 a.m., damn it, they're going to play the game at 2 a.m. So, you know, hey, it's 2 a.m. somewhere when they're going to play that game at 8 o'clock on Tuesday night. So I make sure I go home and get my car.
Still doing the Fresno Grizzlies, or what's he up to?
No, Doug is still around, but he's doing. I can't remember who was broadcasting now, but you know, Fresno, in short, lost their AAA affiliation. MLB came back and said, if you want to keep your franchise, you're gonna take a demotion to single A, and so they did. So Fresno is now a single A minor league baseball team, which is unfortunate because they were AAA. And yeah, single A is just, you know, I mean, come on, that's just one step above the Oakland Ballers, you know. So, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that 8 p.m. start on Tuesday. I mean, I give NBC credit. You know, they brought back the round ball rock, and you know, the guy that was the voiceover guy, right? You know, he's dead. You know that, right? So the voice you're hearing now, yeah, that's an AI voice now. By the way, that's why it sounds a little bit off. But hey, the family's happy. The family was very happy that they get his legacy gets to be honored, and he gets to say, "This is the NBA on NBC." Yeah, exactly. So
exactly, yeah. So, all right, brother. Well, let's have you come back. You've been missed. Sure. The audience has missed you. I've missed you. Come back soon, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to come back to. I'm waiting until this Kuminga thing either gets resolved or the trade deadline passes. Then I'll come back. The main reason I don't come to Warriors games that much, I'd be there every night. I don't give a shit. I'll ask questions. Again, I don't think
it's a distance for you, though, right? Because you live kind of far. Aren't you kind of far from the arena, right? About 2.5 hour drive.
Close. I'm not. It's a trek, but I mainly don't go because of the Wi-Fi. Like your Wi-Fi is clean tonight, but it's not like that every game, man. If the Warriors assured me of a good Wi-Fi connection, I'd be there every game. Every game.
Yeah, it might be because I'm also on the phone too. I think sometimes when you're using a laptop takes up more bandwidth, so that could be it too.
You might be right, but
that's it. As long as you're happy with this is good for me too. I don't mind.
No, I mean, dude, these post-game shows are the bread and butter, man. So I need a good connection no matter where I'm at to do this.
No, I hear you.
But I'm going to come back because I want to ask her another question in a future pregame press conference. But I want to wait till after the trade deadline, and that's how we'll end your segment here, if that's okay with you.
No, sounds good.
I'm going to ask you a prediction or just your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen with this Jonathan Kuminga situation? One of the most bizarre scenarios I've ever seen in the NBA. It's up there. January 15th is Thursday. That's when Kuminga is eligible to be traded. What do you think is going to happen, dude? Because this thing is madness.
I think he's going to get traded. I mean, I to me, the closest thing that reminds me of the Jonathan Kuminga situation is Chris Webber.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah. A guy who's really talented and seems to have worn out his welcome. And I think personally, he's got so much potential that he may do very well for another team. And I'm sure I'm damn well sure he's going to play like it, especially when he plays against the Warriors. And he's going to try to prove everybody wrong. That's what I think. So
the reason why the biggest difference to me in these scenarios is with Webber, the team did not want him to leave. The coach did not want him to leave. Webber himself wanted to get the hell out of Dodge, largely because of the way Don Nelson was handling him. Webber had zero intention of being like a point center and all that shit that Nelly had in mind. And Webber figured out a way out. Whereas with Kuminga, like Kerr wants nothing to do with him. But you also have this crazy like civil war practically behind the scenes between the front office and Kerr. Is Joe Lacob saying anything? Like, I wish someone would interview him. I haven't heard a word out of his mouth.
That's you know what, that's tough too. And like you said, that gets back to like you were saying about the state of the media that covers the Warriors. I mean, you're right. I can't think of anybody out there who would be, I don't want to say volatile, but maybe somebody who's going to kind of be a hot red button pusher or a hot button pusher. You know what I mean? And you just don't see that many guys like that. You know, the closest thing I guess I could think of that maybe a Tim Kawakami type, and even he just, you know, other than him asking some heated questions, I don't see that in this market. I don't know who you would do. You know, a guy like TJ Simers doesn't exist anymore, you know?
Well, and the problem is everybody who would pose these challenging questions, they're all in bed with Kerr. Like Kawakami thinks Kerr is the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's crazy. Like, where's the independent, like, detached identity, man? Like,
by the way, I have a useless trivia note for you based on that. Since you said it,
please.
Sliced bread was invented in 1928.
What were we eating before then?
Well, people had bread, but they didn't have a bread slicer.
Oh, so
you could look it up. You could look it up again, and I'll send you a link later. But I've always been curious when I hear that. I'm like, wait. So I want to know, when the hell was sliced bread invented? So
before 1928, people would just buy the whole loaf, and then they either cut it themselves or just
something like that. Yeah, exactly. So bread slicing. It's almost been around for 100 years. There you go. So hey, useless trivia.
Ryan, love you, brother. People can follow you again on Twitter at Ryan Leong. Subscribe to your channel, Bay Area Sports Rap on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to plug?
That's about it. Like I said, I'm posting more videos. So tonight, I'll go home and I'll post. I got Curry. Here's what I'm doing now. Thank God. So I guess the Warriors talked to Curry because he wasn't appearing on any of the NBC postgame shows. And I know the PR staff wasn't happy that the media was basically kind of loitering, waiting for him. So they came to an agreement this year saying, hey, Steph, do us a favor and do your postgame first so you can get out of here. And we also can get the media out of here faster. And then also it's a win-win because NBC can put them on their B block now, which is, you know how TV is A, B, C, D, right? So he's their second block now out of the break. And so he gets on TV now. So I go run over, I get him. I record the coach for RC Davis for the Warriors SoundCloud. And then I go back to the visiting locker room and I grab the players I can get in the locker room. So for you, Cyrus, if you'd like, I got a post game of Corey Kispert. I got Nickel Alexander. Who else? A couple other guys. I got Ken.
This is on the Bay Area Sports Rap YouTube?
It will be, yeah. And then I got CJ McCollum. So I got all those guys.
God, dude, McCollum looked good tonight, dude. CJ McCollum, by the way.
He's got a good veteran. You know, he's a good veteran. He's got good veteran presence, and I think he's going to bring something to the table.
And then Nikhil Alexander Walker, like, just turning like he's a stud. Like the Hawks have some promise, man. Like if you're a Hawks fan, you're excited about this team. Like they're just going up. That's the only direction they're going. So kudos to them. And meanwhile, the Warriors, who knows? Yeah.
So when I get home, I'll put those videos together and I'll send you a link because it just takes a while for me to do because I don't just throw up the videos. I try to put some graphics on there and make it look good, you know. So
it's time consuming.
It is. It's a huge time suck. Yes.
It is. It's a massive one, man. But you're doing great work, brother. And let's see you more often. You're missed.
Okay, sounds good. I'll do it.
All right, Ryan. Love you, man. Good to see you.
Okay. All right. Have a good night. Sorry,
see you soon, brother. That's Ryan Leong of Bay Area Sports Rap. Thank you so much for taking some time to join us. Julian Bashir, thank you for waiting as long as you did. Apologies for the interruption there. Ryan was going to join us. You are up first, sir. Welcome to the program.
Well, I think anyone is fine being benched for Ryan Leong. Glad that he's back.
Thank you for that very positive attitude. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, I think Armando, a lot of people were giving him flack the other day because he was still critical in a win. But I think the main thing that we need to take it from is when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And no matter if they change for a short period of time, they're going to go back to their habits. And I think that, you know, during where Steve Kerr got kicked out and you saw that Guy played the fourth quarter, I'm pretty sure there was some kind of conversation with Joe Lacob and the other coaching staff, like, oh, see, big lineups work. And so he's given it a few games, and here we are. I actually stepped away in the third quarter because it was a close game, and I was texting somebody. I came back, and we're down 25 points. And I'm looking at the box score, and I'm saying, why the hell did Buddy get 4 minutes? Because that's what he had at the time.
It was over by that point. Yeah.
No. I think he got the minutes like during a stretch because it wasn't in garbage time. So because when I was watching, he was on the floor. So that they already blew the lead.
Julian, you're right. I said garbage time, and what I meant by that was I feel like the garbage time started middle third quarter, but you're right. He got some third quarter minutes into
and you even went through the Trace Jackson Davis minutes, and for a stretch he was getting 17 minutes, 24 minutes. I think he had a double or at least 10 and 9 or something like that. And then now here we are. Back to small ball lineups. And here's a great stat for you. And I've been on this train alone for a while. I've been saying trade Moody since the all season, not because I think he's a horrible player. I just think that he's not who you think that he is. And so him and Pods combined for 33 minutes. And so that's like a full starter. They had 5 points combined, 2 rebounds combined, and 2 assists combined. We can't survive like that with Curry and Butler both giving you 30 points. It's ridiculous. And I want to pose a question to you before I say something.
Yeah.
If you were say you were an NBA scout and then you were also like the lead person in drafting, what characteristics or qualities would you look for when you have Steph Curry, who is the greatest gravity puller in NBA history? What qualities would you look for when you're drafting around him?
Me personally, I go shooting.
Yeah. So I agree with that, but what do you ask? I think it would be length and athleticism. Because of the lob threats, the speed, the cutting, and of course shooting. And the reason why I bring that because we're seeing these teams that. Like the Hawks, Jaylen Johnson. And I brought this up before, but I don't know if the Warriors even worked out Moses Moody or Jaylen Johnson or Quentin Grimes or Trey Murphy III, because how do you choose Moses Moody with you can't even find his vertical online if you try to look at it.
I'll say this because I remember that draft very vividly. Yeah. Moses Moody was highly ranked. Some of these mock drafts had him going in earlier in the lottery, like top 10. I never saw top 5, but he came out of college highly touted. Now, with that said, the Warriors, who they wanted to draft at number 14 was Chris Duarte, and Duarte got picked one pick ahead at number 13, I think by the Pacers or the Kings. Who was it? Was it the Pacers? But so that's who they actually wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, Chris Duarte sounded good. He's turned into absolutely nothing in the NBA. But you're also, I also follow what you're saying, that if you look a little bit further in that same draft, like further down the list, like Alperen Şengün was available, Jaylen Johnson, like you said, Quinn Grimes. There were a lot of that draft was deep.
Did you see the way Jaylen Johnson looks when he dunks the ball?
Dude, he just looks good, period.
It's not like going up. He looks like he's on a zip line. Like he hits an apex and he just glides from one point to the other like he's on a zip line.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And you kind of touched on what I want to bring up because I brought up like the comparison stats. You talked about Jaylen Johnson in his third year, and Jonathan Kuminga. They're both in the same draft. Kuminga outscored him in the third year, playing 8 less minutes in their third year. 8 less minutes. We get that chat. Jonathan Kuminga outscored Jaylen Johnson 16.1 points per game to his 16 points per game with 8 less minutes. The following year, Kuminga gets 2 less minutes per game than he got the previous year, while Jaylen Johnson goes up to, I think, 35 or 36. So now the gap is 11 minutes more. And that's the progression of growth that we say. So we have people in the chat that have blocked me, like Latasha, and saying that Kuminga's trash. And
you folks can block each other in the chat.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So when you say, "Oh, why are we talking about a player?" Because we people that analyze the game and see it, they see the trajectory that Kuminga should be on. And Steve Kerr, we want to say that he's a 4-time champion. But he has cost this team 5 to 10 games, wins and losses. So and we're constantly in the play-in because of Steve Kerr. His lineup changes, his inconsistencies. There's so many games where he's blowing the game by taking people out even when we have leads. And I believe that this team could have, maybe we would have another championship, maybe not, but we'll definitely have a better regular season record if we didn't have Steve Kerr as a coach, or at least somebody different. And so when you talk about something that doesn't fit right now, for the past several years, it's been Steve Kerr that does not fit this team. Because when you watch a team like the Hawks tonight, OKC, Spurs, or even across the league, we look so small. There was a play where Dyson Daniels made Melton, who we like, but he made him look like a middle schooler, where he just took him to the rim. It wasn't hard. It wasn't a struggle. He just kind of like floated, had Melton on his right shoulder and just laid it in with his left. And, right now, I think that it's been botched like the last 6 years. Yeah, we did win a championship within those 6 years, but the last 6 years have been botched because I think we've either blown the draft picks, and once Kuminga's traded, then we've officially ruined or blown all of our draft picks. We had Poole, we busted him up, traded him. We got the number 2 pick, blew that pick. Moody is a bust for me. We traded Ryan Rollins. Someone in the chat brought that up, and it's been all in favor of trying to capture that same magic or genie in the bottle instead of growing and adjusting of what the championship window could be. Like you've mentioned Greg Popovich. You have Tim Duncan, you have Tony Parker, you have Ginobili, but you're not going to play them the same way in 2015, the same way that you would play them in 2005. And that's what Steve Kerr is doing right now for the last 3 years, especially with Draymond Green. He is asking Draymond Green to be the same Draymond Green of the peak years. And that's one of the issues I think that we're facing right now, because going to Jaylen Johnson, would Jaylen Johnson have been able to flourish or grow on this team? Because he would be playing behind Jaylen Johnson. Would Steve Kerr have the guts to say that, Jaylen Johnson, Butler, and Green don't work well together because they all play the same position, and Jaylen Johnson doesn't shoot the ball well. Some crap like that, and we haven't grown or adjusted.
And Julian, how out of touch did Kerr sound when he said that anybody can see that Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga on the court together don't work? Anybody? Like who is he talking to?
Well,
what are we doing here, man?
I have a note because Stephen Curry was a post game interview. He didn't look like he wanted to be there. If you saw his eyes and the questions, and I was thinking to myself, there's a relationship between the NBA and the media, and NBA players have to have in their contracts to show up and get interviewed or they get fined. They have to watch what they say or they get fined. Why have this kind of media outlet for the fans, for articles, if you shackle your players from not telling the truth? Like Jaylen Brown the other day, he said, "Fine me, I'll take the fine because what's happening right now is bullshit." That's entertainment. And if you want to have a media outlet for the fans, let the players speak their mind. And like you said, you can do it in a respectful way. Hell, if they don't want to be respectful, let them do it, because then at least we'll know the truth. And what you said with Steve Kerr when he said that, everyone could see it. No, like Avery Johnson, he used to be a coach and he played for the Spurs. He raves about about Jonathan Kuminga and all of
Julian, there is not a single current or former NBA player not either raving about this kid or befuddled as to what the hell is going on here with the DNPs. Anybody, like someone in the chat tonight brought up that Dominique Wilkins is the color commentator for the Atlanta Hawks, and on their broadcast tonight, he brought that up too. Like, what is going on here? And Chandler Parsons, I'll play this clip again real fast in case you missed this earlier. Chandler Parsons, former NBA player, posed a very simple premise. What do you have to lose? This is only a 50-second clip, so I'll play it right now again.
I want to ask you guys, if they're not winning with what's playing now, how does this Kuminga situation get better? Clearly it's not working without him.
It gets even weirder,
at this
by the way.
point, how do you not throw him in the lineup and give him a chance?
They were going to throw him in the lineup, and then that day he was like, nope, not playing. It's a mess.
Again, his value is at least get his value up. Let him play. Let the kid win. You're not winning without him. What's the worst that can happen? I just don't understand.
That's why it's such a strange situation.
I don't get that whole situation.
It's like self-sabotage.
Yeah, it really is. I don't get it.
And I get his game and his fit and everything, but he deserves to be on the floor.
That's why I'm saying Steve is the problem in this scenario for all of those things that we're saying. Nothing he's doing right now is making sense.
And side note, Boogie Cousins, publicly, I don't hear him bad-mouthing a lot of his former coaches. I know he's ended every team, every situation he's been in, it's ended not well, but at the same time, Mike Malone does love him still. And the only coach he badmouths that he used to play for is Kerr. And it's crazy. What do you have to lose? What is going on here, man? Is it really a petty thing where Kerr is just his ego got so bruised because he got called out that for the rest of his life he's going to play a vindictive game? I do not understand what's going on here. And something tells me that Lacob, because of the history of Kerr in this team, he's giving him this whole season, regardless of what happens. But I feel like any other situation, the coach would be shit canned by now.
Well, someone in the chat just said, NKN 417. He said, if Kuminga was good, teams will want him. Believe me, teams do want him.
They do want him. And NK, what makes you think they don't want him? I mean, what indication have you gotten that teams are not interested? The biggest problem is leverage. It's they know the Warriors are desperate. They know they're in a bad spot, so they're not going to just offer anything. Most teams are aware that Kuminga is likely just going to end up being a free agent and floating out there, and you don't have to give up jack shit to acquire him. Teams do want it, yes.
Yeah, and that's one of the primary staples in business. You never overpay or bet against yourself, and you know the asset as well, but why would you give up for a first-round pick, 2 first-round picks for when you know that now? Okay, well, it's up to you guys. You're right now, the Warriors, you look bad. Announcers from other teams are saying how bad you look in this situation. Everyone is saying that this is probably one of the most toxic situations that they've ever seen. And so it's not on the other teams of the NBA to bail the Warriors out for how bad they've botched this situation. All right. So there's like, Kuminga's still 23. We can wait. We can wait on a 23-year-old. We can wait on a 24-year-old. We'll get him for whatever you want to do. And if the longer that you hold on to him, the worse that you're going to look. And when they say if teams, like you mentioned, leverage, there is no cap space in the offseason. And also he is a restricted free agent. The Warriors had all of the leverage. And also right now you can't trade him until a few days from now. So there's you have no case to say that, teams don't want him.
All right, Julian, I want to bring other folks on. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. But
thank you.
Any
Thanks
final
for having
thoughts?
this space.
Any final thoughts? Or you good?
No final thoughts. I would just say, if you want to mention later on, MPJ was DNP for rest tonight. That's suspicious, but that's all I'll say.
Is that true?
Yep. Take a look at it. All right.
Thank you. That's certainly auspicious. We shall see. Well, hold on. Where did that chat go? Oh, here it is. Zico the First says this shows a magical echo chamber. Well, built like Dr. D, I think wants to challenge that. Built. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going?
It's going good.
What's on your mind?
I want to talk about JK.
Let's do it.
And I just want everybody to hear me out. You can stop me when I'm not stating facts. JK is athletic. JK can jump very high. He's a below average ball handler. He's a below average shooter.
According to you.
And that's about it. That's his ceiling. He's an athletic wing.
Why do you call him a below average ball handler? You just base that on your own personal observation skills?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I've
We
seen
can agree to disagree on that.
A big enough sample size of him. I see how he drives to the rim. He does the same rip through. Pretty predictable. And it gets stolen. That's about it. That's all I've really seen from him. Let's talk about Moses Moody. He's a brick. I'm tired of him. I'm fed up. I don't want to watch him anymore. I'm tired of Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is one of the worst coaches of all time. It's laughable, but it's also...
Can I real quick build? I want to as weird as this may sound, I want to push back just a little bit on the Kerr thing. I do think he's awesome still in terms of the system and the fact that his players are still playing hard for him. He just is terrible at talent evaluation. And sadly, that's a huge part of coaching. Like knowing who to play when, that's a part of the job. And that's not the part he's good at. When the rosters are perfect, he's great at the job. When the roster isn't perfect, you see what happens. But that's my pushback. Hope you don't mind that I feel that way.
Yeah, Steve Kerr, he hates Kuminga. And I think he has done Kuminga injustice. But at the same time, when I watch Kuminga, I just don't see him as this savior.
No, I hear you. Look, no, I don't think I'm not saying that. I've never once said he is a savior. My whole argument's always been just like what Chandler Parsons said there. Like, how does it hurt you to play him? And when you see his minute, like the stats when he plays 30 minutes or more, it's so productive that I don't understand what Kerr's logic is in benching this guy. Like, he keeps using the word fit, but that's such a subjective argument to suppress an individual. He's just not a good fit. And then, and this is where if I was there on a nightly basis, side note, I am expressing interest in a position which would have me there more consistently, but this organization would have to hire me for that to happen. But I would happily go back and forth with Kerr every night on this. Like, his excuse for not playing Kerr is fit. I would follow up with him and say, can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by fit? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, where in the world are you, by the way? I'm just curious. I like asking this of everybody who comes on.
I'm actually in the Bay Area.
Whereabouts?
I say like right close to the Chase Center. You know,
You're
I've
in the
been to a
city.
couple of games. Yeah, like a couple minutes away.
Are you a San
And
Francisco kid, like born and raised, or
yeah,
are you?
born and raised,
Congratulations.
diehard Warriors fan. But what I'm seeing with this team is just it's not good. We're not in a good state.
No, no, that's
At,
safe to say. That is
at
very safe to say.
all. So, but there is a trade that's taking place. I won't reveal my sources on
Don't
that,
reveal the source. Just tell us what the trade is.
but the Warriors are getting MPJ. It's a 3-team trade, and that's about all I could say.
Are you basing this on that one Twitter account with the Nets that
Oh no
everyone
no
is
no
like?
no. I have real sources. People at the top of the organization. I won't reveal
So
any names,
is it
but
your friend with Joe?
no. Not friends with Joe. No. But
Okay.
people that know what's
All
going
right.
on. I can't reveal, but
All right. Well, I
Jonathan
hope you're
Kuminga,
right. At this point, I would not. I would take almost anything. I mean, it's a shakeup.
he's
Michael
all
Porter
but
Jr.
gone.
Would you like Michael Porter Jr.?
Yes, I think it's a good trade. I think it's kind of like a Klay Thompson replacement. He's
Except
a
taller. Yeah.
tall guy. I mean, he's legit like almost 7 feet, and he could
So you
shoot
and
the
Ryan
ball.
Leong. Ryan Leong is also a born and raised city boy. So were you happy that the Warriors moved from Oakland to the city? Was that in your case? That's a good thing, right?
Not really. I liked Oakland better,
Okay.
but I feel like the crowd was definitely better. But it's all good. I mean, we won a championship at the Chase Center,
That's true. They did.
so
Reminds me a little bit of the Yankees when they moved to the new Yankee Stadium and they won a World Series trophy there. It's almost like you got that out of the way. That the lack of a title is not going to float over your arena like a cursed dark cloud with lightning in it. Where like Levi Stadium to me, that is a soulless plastic place that I do not envision a Super Bowl trophy ever being hoisted there. I could be wrong with that, and I'm just
at
totally
all.
bullshitting saying that. But Chase Center at least got the one chip. I feel you on that.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's really all I had. I just wanted to give my take on Kuminga. I will let you
I'm glad
bring
you came in. I thought
somebody
you were
up.
going to bring in a lot more smoke and a lot more heat, man. I was prepared for a lot more pushback. I feel like we're almost on the same page there. So,
Oh yeah, I had some time to cool off a little bit.
well, what were you pissed off about at the beginning before you cooled off?
Just the whole team, man. I'm just tired of watching these guys. Steph is the only person that's even a real basketball player. Everybody else is just unbelievable. So, yeah, that's where
You
I'm
don't
at.
like
But
Jimmy?
Jimmy's been fine lately. Even Draymond has been okay, but outside of that, this team is just goofy, man.
What
Moses
about D'Anthony
Moody,
Melton? I like him a lot. How do you feel about him?
I like Melton. I feel like he's been playing better. I think he's coming on. I'm not even gonna say too much about him. He's coming off injury. So we're gonna give him a little bit of slack. But everybody else, it's like Moody, Pajemski. It's like, come on, it's time to man up. I can't watch like these guys are bricklayers. It's time to man up. And
Well,
it's time I watch them and I wonder, are they practicing? Like I'm really amazed at what I'm watching. Like literally. Like
me
what are we
too.
doing? We need cameras in the practice facility because
Well,
this
they have
bricking.
those. That's how we saw the Draymond punch. But I hear what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I would love to see practice footage because it's unbelievable that these are NBA players. I mean, they feed their families off this and they can't buy an open shot. I see guys hit at LA Fitness every day. Open 3-pointer. You're playing with Steph Curry. You're getting open shots. He's getting quintuple team and you can't hit it. I'm done. Okay, I'm off.
Before you
Take me
go,
off.
do you know who the comedian Kat Dennings is?
No, I don't.
Okay, I was gonna say your what's the word I'm trying to search for? I was like the way your speech delivery reminds me a lot of him, and he's funny as F, dude. He's one of my favorite comedians. So I wasn't sure if like maybe you were trying to do that intentionally, but
Oh no, I'm not familiar with him, but thank you for the
no, you're
compliment.
great. You're fantastic. Come back soon, will you?
I will. I'll be back.
Doors open.
Thank you very much.
You're awesome. Thank you, Built. Built Like Dr. Dre. That's what the DRD is. Built like Dre. Took me this long to figure that out. Bad Hombre, you have been missed. I don't know where you've been. Happy New Year. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Hey, Hombre, thanks for waiting. You've been waiting a long time. I appreciate you. And then Tim of the City, Memo, and then either Quentin or Cam, whoever the last person is. That is our lineup. And then Chardal to close if he's here.
Okay. This is going to sound kind of like a rant, a mini rant. I just wanted to give my 2 cents about Kuminga if I can.
Get it. We're ready.
And I will admit, no,
Okay.
I don't need any music. I was wrong. Remember before I said he reminded me of Jordan at UNC? I was wrong. He's more like 84 Olympics Jordan.
Okay.
I'm old enough to remember that. The difference is Jordan
Kat,
had a
let me
coach.
interrupt real quick. Chris Wood, thank you for correcting me. I said Kat Dennings. That's an actress, correct? I meant Kat Williams. Thank you for correcting me. Same with KKS. That was my bad. I said Kat Dennings, who I think is an actress. Forgive me, built like Dr. Dre. And now Bad Hombre, I'm going to shut up. Go ahead.
And the only difference is between Jordan and Kuminga. Jordan actually had a coach who believed in him. And this is very important because I know I'm showing my age. Now I'm talking about the Olympics. Bobby Knight.
Who coached? Oh, Bobby Knight. Okay. Well, Dean Williams did a phenomenal job at UNC too.
Yeah, yes, he did. Yeah. But here's the thing, though, and this is what people have to understand about what's going on. Hometown kid Steve Alford actually knocked Jordan out of the playoffs. He played for Bobby Knight. He knocked him out of the tournament. Bobby Knight didn't say we're going to run our whole offense through Steve Alford. He knew Jordan was the star. But see, if that was Steve Kerr, he would say, nah, let's run it through Steve Alford. Jordan sucks. We're going to DMP him. Spacing. We need connectors. Blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like a paradox. Because on the one hand, you have a wide open layup or dunk. You can't take that. You have to pass to Steph. But Steph is double teamed, so you're going to get a turnover, and you're going to be accused of having a low basketball IQ. So the kid can't win here. But as far as talent is concerned, yeah, he's the real deal. And it's still weird that it's only the other team's announcers that speak highly of him. Local media, the local announcers, they're very passive aggressive. I actually think Kaminga is getting traded to the Wizards. I don't know, but just hear me out.
Alex,
it just seems weird. It seems weird that they came out and said that, the Wizards are interested in Kuminga. And then the next day, Trae Young said, I want to be traded to the Wizards. You see what I'm saying?
Monty Poole, by the way, had an interesting report where we talked about it earlier, where he said like 60% or so. Like the one I don't know if it was the same report as the one I saw, but I read that he said the Kings are the only team interested in him. And then the very next paragraph, he said there are other teams interested, but they're just not as interested. So I'm reading this going, wait, didn't you just say the Kings are he used the word only as associated with the Sacramento Kings. He said the Sacramento Kings are the only team interested. Next paragraph, there are other teams interested, just not as much. It's like, what are we doing here, man?
Yeah,
I don't, but like you said, there was a credible report. I think Sam Amick reported this, that the Wizards are interested. There were two other teams as well, correct? Like
yes.
the
Mavericks. The Pelicans and the Mavericks. But it just seems weird. It seemed weird that the next day, Trae Young specifically said, I want to go to the Wizards. And everybody's like, why would you want to go to the Wizards? But hey, they're young and athletic. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go. I'd rather have Con Canupo than Pods. You talking about potential rookie of the year? I didn't know he was 6'6". Fastest player in NBA history. They hit 100 threes. He's a real deal. I actually like him for Rookie of the Year. And they got the Hornets. You see, they put up 150 the other night. I forgot who they played. They dropped a buck.
Look, the opposition was weak, but I think it was just last night.
Yeah, last night.
Ombre, for the audience here who is unfamiliar with this, he's not exaggerating. The Charlotte Hornets beat the Utah Jazz. I think I'm like 95% certain of that, since we're throwing just percentages out here on tonight's show. They beat them 150-95. That is a fact. I remember that score vividly. 150-95. And the Charlotte Hornets, by the way, coming into town next week.
And Con Knuppel, he kind of had an off night, but it was their bench guys who were putting up 20 and 30 pieces. So
I agree with Zico the First saying that Con Knuppel is 5,000 times better than Brandon.
The kid he's a real deal. He's a real deal. But see, what we have to understand is all these kids that are balling out now, they're allowed to fail and make mistakes. Our youngsters, one mistake, you get a DMP. And so one thing that Kerr said kind of pissed me off. A few weeks ago, I was listening. He said that the reason why he loves Pods is because Pods makes so many mistakes. And that means he's trying hard. And nobody pushed back. Nobody caught that. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why, when these other kids make a mistake, they're DMP'd? You remember when he said that? You played the clip.
I do. It's nonsense. Kerr does not understand how to develop talent. Like which is really shitty because his dad did tragically get murdered when Kerr was relatively young. So maybe I don't know what's going. I bring his dad up because his dad was a professor. So I would think if your dad's a professor, you would have learned a thing or two about teaching. And one of the fundamental things of teaching is you got to let your players fail to learn from those mistakes, just like you're saying. But I guess that grace is only extended to Brandon Pajemski and not the other youngsters.
He said that Pides makes mistakes because he's trying hard. That's why he's going to get playing time. And what happened to Pat Spencer? Wasn't he that MFer? Was he DMP'd again tonight? I didn't check the box score. Did he get a DMP?
He did not play tonight, and because he's technically a two-way player.
Oh, they're trying to.
But that's a good question. I don't know why I feel like he would. I don't know what happened there. I don't know, but he's a two-way player, and I'm guessing that's why he's not on the box score. But yeah, Pat Spencer got a DNP. Yeah.
So do you think that Laker would just say, okay, we're just mediocre, and you're talking about blowing this whole thing up? Let's just get rid of Kerr and take our chances. Because what people don't understand is nobody is coming here that's going to take us to the next level. Nobody. Not
Latasha,
even
I will agree with you here. Latasha is calling you out, Ombre, and I'll give you a chance to push back to Latasha, but she's laughing at your Jordan to Kuminga comparison, and maybe that is
84 Olympic Jordan. That's Kuminga. The only difference is Jordan had better handles because, of course, he was a shooting guard. I remember watching when I was a kid. I'm showing my age.
So
your explosiveness
comparison is Kuminga now to Jordan when he was just coming out of college.
Yeah, when he was at the 84 Olympics. That version.
Okay.
Not even because
I don't think that's as laughable because Jordan, for people that don't know, was not even the top pick coming out of the draft. He was third.
No, he was third.
And Kuminga seventh. So you're right. That's fair. I hear you.
And I remember the story. The Blazers, they didn't want to draft Jordan. Correct. And they called Bobby Knight and they said, we don't want to draft him because we already have a center. And Bobby Knight said, so what? Play Jordan at center then.
Portland had Clyde Drexler.
They had Clyde Drexler, yeah.
And they did not want a positional logjam, which is in today's NBA you'd be laughed out of the effing room if you passed on Michael Jordan because you had another player playing the same position. But that is what Portland did, and they drafted Sam Bowie, right?
Bowie, yeah. And Bobby Knight tried to tell him, you said, hey, he was being facetious, but he said, so what? Just play Jordan at center. But now that's not so far-fetched. Go back, tell Latasha to go to YouTube and type in Jordan 84 Olympics. I mean, he was just straight going to the rim. He hadn't developed his jumper yet. And I'm seeing the same thing in JK.
He was a freshman when UNC won the title, right? And
Yes, he was a freshman.
That same team.
Yes, that was with James Worthy, Jimmy Black, Sam Perkins, Matt Doherty. Yeah, they won the chip. They beat Georgetown.
Beautiful.
So that's who that kid reminds me of. And I'm telling you, you can't find this kid 20 minutes a night.
I know.
I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, you're 2 games over 500. The league is showing you that the up and coming teams, it's no more super teams. It's no more trades. It's all about letting young players play together. I was thinking the other night, so we have to be honest. Nobody in the NBA right now can stop the Wiseman Kuminga pick and roll. People gonna say I'm wrong. Go back and look at the clips from Summer League. Nobody was gonna stop that pick and roll right now because they would have had 3 years to develop that.
What you're saying, Ombre, you're literally saying out loud what Bob Myers was thinking. And again, it's a huge reason why Bob Myers said peace.
Yeah, nobody was going to stop that Wiseman Kuminga pick and roll. Yeah. Maybe I'm going to say I was talking this about my cousin. Maybe Detroit because they're so physical. They got that Derlin and Stewart. That's about it. So I don't know, man. So I know you got a lot of people. I just wanted to.
No, Umber,
you think the Hornets would ever trade Con Knuckle?
No,
I can see.
I honestly outside of offering Stephen Curry for him. No. Now, but now with the Hornets trade, who's the power forward they picked with the number 2 pick a couple years ago? I'm drawing a blank on his name. Let me look that up real fast. What is the guy's name?
I don't remember.
Here, I'll find it right now. Look, LaMelo Ball would be an interesting wild card. Like I like something tells me Charlotte is not like dead set on keeping him. So I don't know if he'd be available. The guy I was thinking of though is Brandon Miller. Like I don't know if Brandon Miller's available. Like he's someone I would love on the Warriors. Side note: when the Warriors played the Hornets last, Miles Bridges did not play. He was out with a sprained ankle.
They lost by 7.
And that was not a blowout. That was a very close game. None of these are gimmies, man. Like unless it's Sacramento or Brooklyn or Utah, these aren't gimmies.
Teams that are tanking. They're trying to get that
New Orleans feels like a safe win as well. Although they're better than they were the last time the Warriors played them. Like none of these are safe. It's crazy.
And some of these teams, they want that AJ guy that they're talking about as the number 1 guy in the draft. So they're gonna just tank. But here's the thing: when they draft him, they're going to actually play him and develop him, and let him fail. So, do you think that Laker would say, "Hey, come on, we're still mediocre. We've been mediocre since 2022. Let's get rid of Kerr and hire Mike Malone"? Or do you think it's just going to be business as usual?
I saw someone in the chat mention or express an opinion that I think might be the closest to reality, which is that Joe Lacob is just going to let Kerr coach this team this year, probably with the under the premise that he's earned it based on the 4 championships and the fact that he's still a fan favorite, his relationship with Stephen Curry and so forth. A lot. Look, I mean, have you seen anyone boo at Chase Center?
But I've seen a lot of empty seats too, though.
That too, and that could be another thing. Like, look, if people lose interest, that's going to be another huge blaring siren that will get Joe Lacob's attention. But I don't see fans booing at Chase Center, and that's what I've been yelling for years now. Like, but unfortunately, all the real fans got priced out, and so what you have left at Chase Center is the wine and cheese. Like, ooh, what's the trendy thing to do, honey? Ooh, go to a Warriors game. Like, that's who you have there. It's very unfortunate. But unless you see booze or ticket sales, that's another one which I think would maybe move the needle. But ultimately, I think Joe Lacob, like Steve Kerr, they have a good relationship. And my guess is he's just going to let the season play out. And then if the season does play out the way it's going, a 500 team at best, maybe even below 500, then it's not, Joe telling Steve, hey, look, man, it's time to move on. it's not suddenly like a huge ask, you know? Why? I don't know why Lacob's so afraid of Kerr. That's the part of it that I don't understand. Like Joe acts like Steve Kerr has something on him. That part I don't get. Like why are you not challenging this guy? Why are you not? You're the owner. All you have to do is call Kerr and say, play Kuminga. I'm the boss. Click. I don't know why he won't do that, but he's not doing it.
Do you think he's one of those owners that's like, hey, I'm the business person. I'm going to put basketball people in charge and he wants to stay out of it?
Because truth is, Ombre, that's how most organizations are run. You don't like the way I talk on this show, like challenging authority, like being authentic. Like that's not corporate life. That's not how people operate in a workplace. In a workplace, people are like, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it goes. You know, you don't usually see people challenging authority. So it's and sadly, unfortunately, that's how it's going here. I think with the Warriors organization.
So Thursday, we should know something. So if we don't hear anything by Thursday, I don't know. This thing drags out to the 5th. You know.
Yeah. And
this is kind of like the Dallas Cowboys.
Ombre, you know what the easiest trade in the world is? Where you don't have to give up shit and you can improve your team? Just trade Brandon Podziemski to the Sacramento Kings for Keon Ellis.
I like that.
That's it. The salaries match. I already ran it through the trade machine. You're improving your perimeter defense. You're actually getting a bigger player. Like this team does not need Podziemski at all. Like Podziemski should be at the very end of the bench. Would you disagree with that? What's up?
They have like 8 or 9 guards. But here's the thing with Pods. The guy that you had on the other night, your friend, the journalist, he said that Pods' college coach said that he's not an NBA player. So I'm thinking, well, why is he getting 30 minutes?
Because his second year in Santa Clara, he was a different story. And then I don't know, man. I don't know. And his minutes have gone down. I will say that. Like tonight, and again, this is where we're seeing a trend with Kerr, which is all positive. Like Guy Santos came off the bench tonight ahead of Podziemski, which was borderline shocking to me. And apparently this is the 3rd game this has happened. I missed the very start of the previous 2 games. And I had someone tell me that this is the 3rd game or the 3rd night this has happened. But and Podziemski finished the game with 16 minutes, 28 seconds. So we are seeing like this very slow progression to Kerr maybe playing the best guys. But Thursday is the Kuminga.
I just hope it doesn't drag out to the 5th. I'm tired of this. It's like the Cowboys. It's like the Cowboys almost, Cy. So I'm tired of them talking about this every day. I just want them to be done with it. Move on from the kid. That's what I don't get. You can't play him. Why are you so picky on what you're going to get back?
Yeah.
When you went on a tour, Steve, and told the whole world why you couldn't play him. So why? I don't get this.
In our chat is saying if Lacob believed in Kuminga, he would force Kerr to play him or else. That's not how Joe and Kerr work, man. And I wish I knew why Joe.
That's why I asked the question.
Is too afraid to challenge Kerr, but like there's a story out there, and we've talked about this, where when Draymond Green got his last contract extension, and this is where bless Draymond Green for being as open and transparent as he is, because we know so much more about the behind the scenes machinations than we would if Draymond didn't have his podcast. And Draymond said during an interview that when he signed his last contract extension, Joe Lacob, the day they sat down to sign that contract, told Dre, one condition of your contract is to take JK under your wing and try to get him assimilated into Steve Kerr's system. And Dre said, absolutely. I'm 100% going to do that. And it's a huge reason why last year, remember for that month of December, we had Kuminga was starting and Draymond Green went to the bench. People forget that happened, but it did for like a month plus. And Kuminga was playing great, by the way, during that stretch. And the team was had the exact same record, 18-16, as they did this year before Kuminga went down with that ankle injury that cost him like 30 games, unfortunately. But my point is, Latasha, if the reason why I know Lacob believes in Kuminga, besides all the interviews, besides the optics of Joe and Kuminga sitting courtside of that Valkyries game, which people forget,
That was
paying
big,
the man
though.
$23 million to just sit there and do nothing. Like, if he didn't believe in him, he would not be paying the man 22 point whatever million dollars to sit there and do nothing. And that's why Kuminga is way happier this year than he's been the last couple of years. Because this time he's rich, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think he was they were trying to send a message too. That was by design. They could have been up in the owner's box in the suite, but to be at courtside so everybody could see them two together. Lakem knew what he was trying to send a message.
Steve Kerr's crazy.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, Cy. I know you got a lot of people. Great to talk to you.
Ombre, you're fantastic. Thank you, brother.
Okay,
have a great night.
You
too, man. Oh, sorry. You too. Have Happy New Year. Let's go. Tim of the City. Is this your first time on the show? Have you been here before? Nice to meet you if you haven't.
I've called before.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good to hear from you again.
Yeah, no problem. You got 400 people listening to you, so I try not to lose 300 of them.
2 hour. Dude, I lose track of time until I look at this little clock in the corner of my screen here. We've been on for 2 hours, 20 minutes. God damn, dude. It does not feel like that. I'm sorry, Tim. You've been waiting a long ass time. I'm shutting up. How are you doing? And speak your mind, sir.
Yeah, I won't take a lot of time, but
take your time. No rush.
I think we have to talk about what being a fan fundamentally is. And, my background. So first Warriors game I went to was in '89. And then they had a few good seasons in between that and the Chris Webber years.
Yeah.
But
so you started following right when Run TMC was taken off.
Exactly. Yeah. So in between 94 and 2005, there were, if not the worst, but they were pretty horrible.
I think those were the darkest years, I would say.
Those were the dark years.
Those were bad, man. Not even 2005. It was 95 to 2000, I think 7. And then 07, they made the trade for Baron Davis, which for a brief moment, things were exciting again with the We Believe teams.
Yeah. And my point is that we didn't need to win, at least as a fan. I didn't need the Run TMC teams or the We Believe teams to win championships to validate in my mind that those were good players. If they had lost in 2016 to the Oklahoma City Thunder in 7 games, it wouldn't diminish Curry in my eyes at all.
Same.
He would still be a great player. He would still be one of the greatest shooters. Those Kevin Durant years are pretty meaningless to me because of how overpowered they were. But
Tim, I feel you 1,000%. We're on the same page. And just to piggyback off what you said, I was having a discussion with someone the other day. I think it was at the grocery store. It was someone who recognized me. We started talking, and this guy was like, so you want Steve Kerr gone? Like, every special feeling that I have associated with this team is because of Steve Kerr. And my response immediately to that was, so you're telling me that the year they upset the Nuggets and pushed the Spurs to 6 games, that didn't feel special to you? You mean like all those Stephen Curry years leading up to Kerr taking over, like none of that felt special? And he was like, well, yeah. And then the moment, like, some people just need I feel like a brain jarring to be reminded that this thing was special well before Steve Kerr arrived. I don't know. I feel you is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the championships validate individual players, but if you're a real fan, you don't need that validation. I don't need to see Charles Barkley's championship ring to consider him one of the greatest power forwards ever.
Agreed.
But the reason why I bring it up is, well, there is one thing I'll say is that it was important that Oakland got a championship before that team left. To me, that means everything as to the team. But I don't think that I don't think Curry winning another ring should come at the cost of 4 to 8 years of the future of this team. I think we have to, on the last, was it Friday show or one of the shows, I just realized Steven and Stefan are variations on the same name. And I just realized, I'm like, these guys are blending into one. And I said, if we have to move on from one and the other one goes with it, then so be it. Because I don't want the fandom to go through that 95 to 2005. The franchise, this, well, let's be honest, this is not the Lakers. I don't think the franchise can survive as a top franchise if that kind of losing happens again. They're going to go back to the basement if in the league. They'll be with the Atlanta Hawks.
Tim, I feel you.
Mid-tier team.
I feel you 1,000%. And here's a huge reason why I'm a lot more optimistic. Well, I don't know if I'm more optimistic than you, but maybe why I am optimistic in general that they're not going to revert to those dark days again. And this is just my belief. And this is based off watching sports in general for 40 plus years now, since I was a little kid. To me, based off everything I've watched over the years, and I've religiously watched basketball and football, and I used to be a huge baseball fan, and I used to be a hockey fan, and all the other sports I've watched. To me, it all starts and ends with the top, with who's owning the team. There's the old adage, right? Shit rolls from the top, right? And the adage means whoever is in charge, they're responsible for the rise and fall of the organization as a whole. It starts there. And the Golden State Warriors have, until the Lake of Goober group, were riddled with awful owners for like 30 plus years. Even the guy Frank Muley, who was in charge when Rick Barry played and they won that one championship, even he was an eccentric son of a bitch. And even, a lot of people have mixed emotions about him. I'm too as weird as this may sound, I'm too young to really give you a good analysis of Frank Muley, the team's former owner. But when Muley sold the team, the ownership groups that took over, and I think there were 3 different ones before Lacob and Goober, they were terrible. Chris Cohen, who was the owner before Lacob and Goober, he's the one who sold the team to them, and he was forced to sell the team because he got into all this tax problems and owed the government I think millions of dollars. He had to sell. He also reportedly, supposedly, I'll say allegedly to play it safe, had some serious alcohol issues, and he just did not have his shit together. And so he had to sell the team. And I knew Cohen personally. He actually sat in his box one night for a Warriors game and met him and hung out with him. And interesting fellow. My point is, this current ownership group, and it's a huge reason why I don't bash them the way so many people do, these guys give a shit. These guys are willing to invest. These guys are willing to hire the best. For all the people that give credit, for example, to Jerry West as being the mastermind behind this whole dynasty, someone had to hire him. Someone had to actually pony up the cash to have his genius implemented for all these important decisions. That credit has to be given to the owner, right? They want to win. Lacob himself has said repeatedly that he has a fan mentality. I effing love that. Like, that tells me that this is a guy who actually cares about the little things. This is a guy who, in a lot of ways, shares the same sentiments you and I do about a team that you're emotionally invested in, and what the product is, right? And whether or not it's stale and you get tired of it. And because right now this shit is stale. This shit is old. It definitely needs an injection of either fresh blood or a drastic change, in my opinion. But I don't think, and I pray this is not wishful thinking, but I don't think that Lacob and Goober are going to just stand pat and let this thing turn into what it was from 95 to 07, which was dismal, bleak, myopic. Like, that shit was dark. If you're too young to have experienced that version of the Warriors, it was the Wizards, but worst, much worse. And it was the Warriors and the Clippers were both in that boat. Like those two were safely like the organizations you wanted nothing to do with as a player, as an executive. It's why they could never hire a decent coach. I like this ownership group, and I'm optimistic that when we finally move on from the Steve Kerr era, I'm excited to see what they do. I'm confident that they're not going to just stand pat and settle for mediocrity. This is a group that wants to win. This is Joe Lacob is someone who cares about his legacy as an owner. He wants championships. I love the fact that we have an owner that just talks like that, man, because the previous owners did not talk like that. They never said shit. They hired yes men. They hired awful people for their team president, for their front office, for coaching. These guys like have a head on their shoulders. And I know they get criticism for nepotistic reasons, like Joe's son, Kirk, is the assistant GM. And look, that's not cool. I get it. But they want to win. And that says a lot more than most ownership groups. And you're stuck with that owner. Unlike a coach, unlike a GM, you can't force an owner out. Whoever that person is, you're married to that person. The Kings, oh my God. I literally never in a million years thought I would have sympathy for Sacramento Kings fans. I'm starting to feel a little bad for them. I feel pity for Sacramento Kings fans because Vivek, he ain't going nowhere. You're stuck with that guy. You're screwed. You are screwed. But the Warriors have an ownership group that came in, and the moment they came in, flipped the script. They won 4 championships. They found a way to get Steve Kerr back when he was the right guy for the job. They brought in Jerry West. They had the ingenuity of hiring Bob Myers. No one was hiring player agents as GMs at that time. So that was a first. Dude, I unlike most people, I feel like who are Warriors fans, I'm grateful for this ownership group because you could have so much worse than this. And I also think that when this is over, well, on one hand, I think you're absolutely right that the Bay Area is not a market that attracts marquee free agents and the biggest names. At least you have an ownership group who is willing to do what it takes to win. They care about winning, man. And that says a lot more than most owners in this association. And that's why I'm optimistic about what's next. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm just not as optimistic as you. I see the Smiley Geach signing.
Look, that was one mistake. It was a bad mistake, but it was one mistake.
I see Kerr hanging around probably 3 years past his expiration date.
I mean, that's 2 mistakes.
I mean, no, it's
they're not perfect. No one's perfect.
I want to be optimistic, but they're just not showing me too much in the last, since Durant left. Really, it's been kind of
here's what I'll say to that, Tim. As I'm sure you know, life is complicated, right? A perfect case in point for the complications of most situations in life, in this case being the NBA, when Draymond Green knocked the shit out of Jordan Poole. The common sense answer to that situation in regards to how to resolve it would be you suspend him, you punish him. There are consequences for actions like that, right? But for the folks who have forgotten about the context of that whole scenario, the team had just won a championship. And one of the proudest moments of an organization when you win a championship is that first game of the season because it's ring night. And the Warriors were in this near impossible situation where they should have suspended Dre. It was the message they were supposed to send, but Dre was also one of the most pivotal aspects of that 4th championship. And to not have him there for ring night would have been weird. It was just not an easy situation. There was no easy fix to that situation. So he faced no consequences. He was there for ring night. And unfortunately, everything started going into a tailspin after that. My point is, when it comes to the current Warriors situation, you have Stephen Curry, one of the greatest players ever, the face of the Golden State Warriors, arguably for eternity. When I say eternity, I mean our lifetimes. And he's still here. He's still producing, putting up nearly 30 points a game. He's still beloved. He's still he's an active athlete, and he's the most notoriously famous and arguably the most successful athlete in Bay Area history. The man is in the Bay Area, at least here, he's a god. He is royalty. Maybe that's what the best way to put it. And Steve Kerr's his guy. He doesn't want Steve Kerr to leave. So if you're Joe Lacob, and you also have a fan base that does not pay attention to nuance like we cover on this show, right? And a lot of fans do not follow the team on a day-by-day basis. So in their eyes, all they see is, oh, that's the coach that helped the team win 4 championships. And they ignore all the other shit, right? So and that's the reality of a lot of fans, probably at least half of them. So Joe's in this really shitty, tough situation where on one hand, I don't doubt for a second he is fully aware this is a mess. This is a nightmare. He wants Kuminga playing. The coach doesn't. And it's complicated. And my guess is the resolution to this will come this offseason. I don't see Kerr coming back next year. I don't see that happening. But I also think Joe's in a spot where he's letting this thing play out for this season just because of Stephen Curry and the good grace Steve Kerr has earned. And my guess is Joe's looking at this and thinking, I don't know what the easy way out is from this. So I guess I just have to bite my tongue. It sucks, but it's a complicated situation. And am I making sense?
Yeah, I agree. I would just say that I could see the perspective of a fan who feels that Kerr at least deserves to finish this final season. I just would be against making any trades to try to improve the team this year when we know it's kind of a lost cause.
Well, and Tim, you seem like a very smart guy, and so I'm guessing you will understand this. This is why I'm not sold on Kuminga being traded, because unlike a lot of fans who are just looking at this situation in the present, you got to look ahead. Like any prudent NBA organization is going to plan 5, maybe even 10 years ahead, right?
Exactly.
Like they're mapping shit out. They've got like in certain movies and TV shows, you see like detectives have this big old whiteboard and they got strings tied and they're trying to connect everything to solve a case. Like, and front offices of professional sports, they have like 10 of these whiteboards in their GM rooms. And they have all these plans and they have a million names and they have all sorts of shit mapped out. And they're thinking about the future as much as they are about what's happening right now. And so you got to think about 2026, 2027 next season, right? Like, what are you going to do next year? What are you going to do 2 years from now? And that's why I'm very skeptical of any trade that involves giving up future picks, because I don't think the front office is interested in doing that. I'm skeptical of the team even trading Kuminga because he could still play for you next year if and when you hopefully change coaches. There's a lot going on here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I appreciate it.
It's the situation currently sucks. I think that's safe to say too. I don't know if it just sucks. Sure. It's and we just have to, I guess, bide our time. I don't know. It is frustrating as all hell.
No problem. I know there's a lot of people behind me, so I appreciate you.
No, man, and I hope I didn't talk too much. Any final thoughts before?
No, I just, to the younger fans, I'll just say, listen to the people who can name 3 of those 95 to 2005 players. If the fan can name some of those, just listen to what they have to say about Kerr. Yeah, I feel like that's the group that's really.
But you know what's funny, Tim, is even with the old school fans, the ones that were around before Stephen Curry and before this dynasty, I do hear another sentiment from them too, which is, dude, how are you not why are you taking this for granted? Do you not remember all those dark days? Like, Steve Kerr brought the light to our team. Like you hear some really old school fans say that. Like they'll espouse that rhetoric, and my pushback, and then I push back and go, yeah, I remember that. And the way things are going now, we're going back to that. Like this does not feel that different from those dark days. Like what we're seeing right now. Like Stephen Curry brings the joy, but he's like one of the only bright spots left. Like this is not a fun product that we're seeing on a night by night basis at all. Yeah. Like I heard a national guy the other day say on his program, he covers the NBA, that he doesn't even watch Warriors games anymore. And Stephen Curry's one of his favorite players ever. I heard that and I was like, damn, dude. So it's not just a lot of Warriors fans that are like feeling this way. This is across the board. Like this is just a bad product that's on the court right now. And apparently Steve Kerr does not recognize that, which is really crazy.
For sure. Okay, sir. Have a good night. Thanks.
What part of you said you're in the city, right?
No, last time I'm in San Jose.
Oh, well, whatever. Same shit. How's life in San Ho?
Boring. Quiet.
Are you sitting on a gold mine? Do you own your land in your house?
No, I'm in a townhouse. So.
Oh, you're renting it?
No, I'm paying a mortgage, so.
Oh, well, that's good enough.
That's all my disposable income.
Townhouse, house, whatever, man. Congrats. Your retirement's all set. Bravo.
I think I'm losing money on it already, though.
Oh no, just hang tight. You just gotta hang tight.
I'm upside down. Yeah.
You'll be okay soon. You'll be okay.
Okay, sir.
That your property value will never go down. Ever. So you know so. Maybe it'll go like a dip, like a tiny little dip here or there, but you're okay. People will never stop coming to California. It's unfortunate. If you're from here, you're pretty much screwed. But if you own your land, there's a huge bright spot. Tim, thank you, man. I appreciate it. You seem like a very smart person. Come back soon, all right?
Okay.
All right, Tim. Tim from the Tim of the city. Is this Quentin or is this Cam? Quentin?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, is this Quentin? Cam? Cam.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Okay. Oh, and we just lost him. He'll come back. Memo. You're on the show. Memo.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Mem.
Sir, it's Memo. Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm teasing. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing okay, thanks. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I guess you just discussed about the whole ownership and JK thing, but I just want to give my take on it.
Please.
I think like we gotta trade JK this offseason, or not this offseason, this deadline, because for him, his sake, and on the Warriors' sake as well. Like, JK should be playing like a couple minutes on this team right now. I think we all agree on that. He shouldn't be DMP'd. And there's clearly a disconnect between the coach and the player. And he just got to be traded for the Warriors' sake and his sake. He deserves the chance to go on a team and get proper minutes.
Let's jump ahead to something that's more interesting, because no pushback. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, who do you want to trade him for? Is there a trade that you're looking at that you think is?
So, I mean, it's all over to it. I'm all in on Michael Porter Jr. Like, okay. I think that's the move you make. I don't think this team would even be a contender with him on the floor. But I do, like, you got to give Steph the best possible chance. And these past 6 years, like, I know Joe Lakers been a good owner. Like, I don't think he's a bad owner by any stretch, but I think overall they just failed Steph the last, I think, like post 2019. I know they won the championship in 22, but you see reports where they say like they didn't even expect to win that championship. You know what I mean? Steph carried them to that championship. Yeah. And that's insane to me, because you got a player who is legitimately the best player, top 5 in my opinion in the NBA all time. Very, like, he can carry any team if he has proper players around him. And you see this roster right now, right? Like Jimmy and Steph are both like they're great. I have no complaints about their play. Draymond is a playoff riser. I know a lot of people talk about, trading Draymond. I don't agree with that one bit, because he's just too important to the team, in my opinion.
And I like being realistic, and realistically, that's not happening. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're over him, and I get a lot of people are done with Draymond Green, like the team is not. And so let's just be realistic here and come to the point where he ain't moving. He's not going to get traded.
And and he shouldn't. So, and you see his roster right now, like this game, Steph and Jimmy, I mean, they went off, right? Like they both shot the ball extremely well, and there's no one around him that could actually like make open shots. Steph is getting triple teamed, right? It's tough. It's sad to watch, quite honestly. And so that's why I'm in on Michael Porter Jr., even if it takes 2 picks, post Steph. Like, I know that'll probably hurt, but for right now, you got to give Steph the best possible chance. And you have he's what, 6'10", he could shoot the ball. Like, in this system, especially, I mean, we've seen it with Clay, when you have an elite level shooter next to Steph, how that looks. And it's just a no-brainer to me. You know what I mean? And like,
what's your plan B? Because Mark Stein, for what it's worth, and he's pretty credible, came out the other day and said that Michael Porter Jr. will not be traded, period.
Yeah.
So let's say do you have a plan B and a plan C in case the price is too high or they just don't want to move him at all?
I mean, after this whole thing is pretty bleak after that, especially with the Murphy news. And I never thought that was going to happen, to be honest. But some type of wing. I mean, I don't have one on the top of my head. I like my friends were talking about like Jeremy Grant. I'm not giving up. I don't want Jeremy Grant on this team. Like that's like I'd rather just not make a move at that point.
Well, and I'm curious with Jeremy Grant. I'm going to look up his contract real fast because if he still has a couple years remaining, there's no chance in hell the Warriors are doing that. Well, let me see real quickly. But he's like in his 30s.
Yeah.
So his contract goes through. Oh, see, he's not coming here. He's got a player option of over $30 million in 2028.
Oh my god! Yeah, I didn't even know
he's
that.
not. They're not getting. There's no.
That's a terrible contract.
That's
terrible.
Yes.
Oh my god. I mean, maybe
2027, 2028. He's going to make $36 million. No, so let's write him off. That's not happening. There's no chance in all this. Oh, and that Portland's the team, by the way, that was reported as another one that
that's right. Exactly. I mean, I would have to figure out like another.
Well, the one that I keep saying, which makes the most sense, but I don't know what the asking price is Larry Markkinen, Johnny Kuminga for Larry Markkinen, and you throw in Moses Moody, you throw in Brandon Podziemski, you make it 2 picks max, but you compromise with a pick swap for the 3rd pick, so at least you're not losing the asset. You keep it as just the worst of the 2 picks. I'd do that.
Yeah, I think, but I mean, Danny Ainge is insane, bro. Like he's probably gonna ask for like 4 first-round picks. Like he'll ask for everything, and I think that's the problem with Danny Ainge too. Like he doesn't let go of the asset, at the highest point. So it's just weird. I don't think that would work either. So I mean, overall, like it's pretty bleak right now. There's no doubt about it. And like one last take I have. Like with Steve Kerr, right? We all agree. I think this is his last year. I think it should be his last year. I think his system. I mean, I have tons of respect for him for like 2015, that championship. Because he elevated Steph. Like, there's no doubt about it. With his system, Steph became an MVP because of that. But right now, like post 2019, like after KD left. Most of the seasons have been pretty bleak, apart from 22. When you think about it, like they missed the playoffs for 2 years. They win the championship. Everything comes together for them. It works out perfectly. And then after that, like you see the same thing. Like every team has length. They've got size. The era of like 3 guards doesn't work anymore. And for whatever reason, the Warriors haven't realized that. And that's what's costing this team the most. So, man, that's all I got.
I mean, Atlanta tonight. We talked about this earlier, but you look at Atlanta's lineup and no natural point guard.
Exactly.
Their starting 5 was Krejci. Is that how you pronounce the last name? Krejci, I think. Who's like a power forward. Jaylen Johnson, who's a forward. Dyson Daniels would be like a 4 on this Warriors team. He's listed as a guard on the Hawks. I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker is the only guard that they rolled out there, and he's not a point guard. And then you had a Kongwu as their center. Welcome to the modern NBA. You cannot roll out traditional point guards, but Steve Kerr just doesn't get that. It's absolutely insane. But you're saying so you're throwing water on the idea of the Warriors trading for this man,
Mike Lowry.
Larry. Sorry, I got to get that soundbite queued up. But so Larry Markkinen, that's not happening for you?
Oh no, I mean I would 100% want Larry Markkinen, right? But there's no doubt. I just think with Danny Ainge, like I don't think that would be plausible, to be honest. But like if he does give him up, right, and he's on the market, then I think you go all in on him. He'd be perfect. I mean, 7 foot, he can shoot the 3, defend for you, give you another scoring option, right? That's what this team desperately needs. It needs a third. It needs a 3-and-D guy. It needs
no pushback on Michael Porter, man. There's no doubt that if the Warriors pull that off, this team would look night and day different. Like,
and
like it
Porter's
would
not.
be a game changer. Like it would be very exciting to see how Steph and Jimmy look with that gravity on the court to give them space, right?
Mhm.
Or maybe Michael Porter gets all the space and he's just draining buckets left to right, or Jimmy gets the space and he's attacking the paint and getting 15 free throw attempts a night. Whatever your mix and match is, it's gonna look good. I feel you on that.
And I mean, I think another thing with the Porter Jr., like you'd be giving up like JK, Buddy, Moody, probably a couple picks. I don't know if the math works out there. Like, it'll be something like that.
That's where I don't know if it's a real trade, brother.
I
I don't know
think
if the Warriors give up picks for him. That's why
I think you do, man. I think you do. I think you do. I mean, JK and Moody, I guess it hurts because they're both like lottery picks and you had such high expectations for them, but it's just not working out. And Kuminga right now, his value is at an all-time low. Like, let's be honest, right?
But
So it's
again,
like
I
you have to
depends. I
give
guess we'd
picks
have to know what the front office is thinking. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't think the Warriors would give up a first round pick. Maybe like one at the most. Even then, I think you might be hard pressed. Not for Michael Porter
mean,
Jr.
If they're not giving up more than one, then yeah, it's but one other reason, like, because if you give those guys up, all of a sudden now Kerr can't play those guards because he would have to play Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, and Porter.
Yeah.
So it just eliminates him from playing two other guards alongside Steph, and it would be Melton to me. Like I would start Steph, Jimmy at the 2, Porter at the 3, Draymond at the 4, and one of our centers at the 5. You know what I mean? And if you're going small, you would have Melton in there at the shooting guard position. So it'd be like Steph, Melton, Jimmy, Porter, Green. Like at least you have some size with that lineup. So that's why that would be my number one target for sure. But like you said, I don't know. I don't know what they would do.
Well, before you go, I'm going to keep you around if you don't mind, if you're willing to stay for this exercise, because Raymond Kelly, forgive me, I don't know when you dropped this $2 donation, and just that guy, I'm going to get to you next, is asking what trade or trades would you like to see. We've already heard from Memo. He really wants Michael Porter Jr. Here are a few other wild cards. There are some wild card names I'll present to you right now real fast. And this is just from going through the standings and looking at other teams. And again, bear with me. Some of these are going to sound crazy, and maybe they are crazy. I'm just throwing some crap against the wall and seeing what sticks, all right? The Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid. Crazy? Not impossible. Cleveland Cavaliers, Jared Allen. Crazy? Yes, not impossible. What about, everyone talks about Michael Porter Jr. If the team's going to go all in for just this year, then why not trade for Andrew Wiggins and bring him back? Would you hate that?
Nah, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. But I mean, it's so funny because remember they traded Wiseman for like GP2. So it'd be so funny that they just keep bringing players back.
This is why, and Memo, this is a huge reason why I don't feel much guilt for criticizing the GP2 minutes, is because back in 2022, all I was doing was advocating for GP2 to get a max contract. And a max contract for him was what he ultimately got. It was like a 10-year deal for I think 3 years approximately. And I still cannot believe the Warriors cheaped out and didn't pay him that. Now, granted, part of the reason they did not do that was because they expected Kerr to start giving Moody and Kuminga heavy minutes. Mm-hmm. They did not expect Kerr to be giving a lot of those minutes to Ty Jerome and Anthony Lamb. Oh my God. And so that's what eventually led to GP2 coming back. But you're right. That was a massive fumble. And again, that was the beginning of the end to me, and really where you saw the disconnect emerging between the front office and the coaching staff. But here's a few other names. So Andrew Wiggins is another one. All right, take that for what it's worth. Nikola Vucevic, Vooch with the Bulls. That might not cost you that much.
Yeah, true.
Some of these might sound crazy. I'm just throwing crap against the wall. All right, a lot of this might just slide right down and leave a nasty stain. The Charlotte Hornets. I mentioned Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball. I don't think those are impossible assets to get. It might be a little expensive, but if you're going to give up first round picks, I guess I would give it up for someone younger and more durable than Michael Porter Jr. That's my thinking, but I could be mistaken on that. I don't think he's available, but the Wizards are so stupid that I would at least make an attempt for this guy, and that's Alex Sarr. I freaking love this guy, dude. He is going to be a star in this game. No pun intended someday. Does anyone in the Indiana Pacers tantalize you?
I mean, not really right now. I'd say. I mean,
what about what about Pascal Siakam? Do you think he's even available?
Oh, probably not. But I mean, I would definitely go for him. You talked about Jared Allen. Like that's someone I would go for. One trade I had, like, which sounds kind of crazy, but whatever. It's like the Cavs clearly need kind of an enforcer on their team, and they already got Mobley, right? So my thing was maybe we trade Draymond and some picks or something for Allen, just because they want to get rid of or they want to get a guy who could help out the younger guys, etc. But I don't think that's possible as well. So
because of the
it's kind of weird. Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of weird.
One wild card, I mentioned this before, shifting gears to the Western Conference, the Minnesota Timberwolves, Naz Reid.
I wanted Naz Reid at the offseason. Remember that?
Yeah, and him and Kuminga make almost identical money. So that's I don't know anyone on the Trailblazers who would be available. Again, we just mentioned the fact that Jeremy Grant, his contract is too expensive. What about the Memphis Grizzlies? I'm not going to say John Morant because no chance in hell is that happening. But what about Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Oh yeah, that was my next one too. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, we need either a wing that can defend and score for us, or we need a center, like a legitimate center who can. But the problem with Jaren Jackson is, like, he can't rebound, man, and he fouls like so much. So he fouls. He has like the dumbest fouls I've ever seen. It's actually insane. Like the way he just. So that wouldn't be my number one target. I would want either Laurie or like Michael Porter, one of those two over him. But he's a good option as well. Like that's someone I'd. If those two aren't available, I could go for that too.
Here's another one. Shifting gears to the Mavericks. Bill Simmons keeps stupidly saying that he sees Kuminga for Daniel Gafford. There is zero chance that's happening because you got to factor in the fact that Steve Kerr will likely not play Gafford. I don't know why that guy keeps bringing that up. But one guy on the Mavericks who does make some sense. PJ Washington.
Yeah, that's a good option as well. I mean, look, because like we need length, we need shooting. He can do both of those things.
Exactly.
He's proven
and
player.
he's not that expensive either. He makes about $15 million, so you could make that trade work. We already mentioned Larry Markkinen. So Larry Markkinen with the Jazz. There's no one on Sacramento outside of Keon Ellis for pods. I really wish the Warriors would pursue that. And then the Pelicans came out recently, and I think was it Shams who reported that, or no, it was Chris Haynes who reported that the Pelicans have no interest in moving all the assets that the Warriors would be interested in. So I think I just literally named every potential player that the Warriors could pursue. Anybody I miss?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, Kebler in the chat saying Kuminga and Pajemski for Naz Reid and Rob Dillingham. Yadamine is saying PJ is not eligible to be traded until the offseason. Based on what? Does he have a no trade clause?
I think I don't know what it is, but I've heard that he
Hold on. Well, let's get the trade machine and settle this once and for all, because the trade machine is factors in all the clauses and all that bullshit. Okay, so let me share my screen. Hold on one second here. Thank you for being patient. Cam, you're next, and then Chardal is waiting as our closer. We'll go through the scoreboard, but let's see. Warriors and Mavericks, and Dallas is such a pain in the ass team to make trades with because of their cap situation, but we're going to try anyways. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me zoom in. All right. So PJ Washington, trade deadline mode. Okay. Oh, shit. There you go. You can't trade for him. Why does he have a trade restriction until March 3rd?
I think it's because he signed the extension this offseason.
Dude, F you, PJ Washington. Yeah, you, PJ. F you. All right, so never mind. Never mind on PJ Washington. God damn it. Zico the First says Tobias Harris. You know what? You know what the saddest part is about that? He would be an improvement. I take Tobias. Sign me up. As long as we're not giving up anything for him, sign me up. But I don't think Detroit would just give him up for nothing either. Shit. Any final thoughts before we move on, Memo?
Yeah, all I'd say is, man, give up the picks. Give up the picks. Let's get a player. Let's do it.
Have a good night, Memo. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
All right. Jesus. I got all excited for a second about PJ Washington. Just that guy dropping $10 saying people keep on saying we need a third scorer. So trade a player who scores 30 back-to-back in the playoffs after being DNP'd for a month. Make it make sense, please. Well, you're asking for... Sorry. I feel like something in my eye here. You're asking for sense from Steve Kerr. I mean, if you want Steve Kerr to make sense, I mean,
Oh my God, that is funny.
There's no sense with this guy. That's the whole problem. Oh my God. Thank you for the donation. Jesus Christ. I appreciate you. Thank you. I wish I had an answer, but, and what just that guy is referencing more specifically is, Jonathan Kuminga putting up the numbers that he did in the playoffs last year, proving he can score, and the first 2 weeks of the season. And the Warriors want to trade him for someone else that does the exact same thing. Only Kuminga knows the system. His teammates like him. Sorry, my eyes. Something's going on. Anyways, elsewhere in the chat, $5 donation also from just that guy. Thank you again, saying, do you think Kerr's dislike for Kuminga stems from the fact that it put a magnified glass on the fact that Kerr can't coach unless he has a stacked team? Do I have a ding, 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 you're a winner sound effect? I have a gong. And applause. Yeah, I think ego's playing a huge part in that. Folks, I need 30 seconds. Please forgive me. Somebody's going with my eye here. I will be right back. 30 seconds. All right. No need for that. 20 was good. Okay. And last, just that guy. You're a comedy. Bobby Darris dropped the $5 donation, but did not provide a comment. You don't have to pay more money to get your comment heard, Bobby. If you don't mind following up, just so I can give you your money's worth. Hamza Kassem saying, do you see the Warriors getting Michael Porter Jr. for Kuminga? Realistically, no. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But if you're asking for my opinion on it, I say no chance. I don't think that's happening. But I feel bad because, again, Bobby Darris, what did you want to pay $5 for? I want to express your opinion. We bring in, is this Cam or Quentin?
This Cam. What's up with it?
Cam, how are you doing? Were you the one that had the GoFundMe?
Yeah, man. You feel me? We don't got real Warriors fans. They not donating, man.
Well, you haven't. I don't know what the link is. I think you tried to send me a link a couple times, and the link was going nowhere. And I've been waiting on you to send me an official link. Do you have one, or?
Yeah, I DM'd you and I left it in the chat. I'll drop it again right now.
It's in the chat?
Yep, I'm gonna drop it in the chat.
Drop it in there right now, because what I'm going to do right now for you. Here, we'll start playing some tunes as well. Is I'm going to create a QR code. And for you folks who have not been following Cam's adventures, Cam is a loyal soldier for Dub Nation in terms of wanting some genuine progress and healing. He literally is behind the scenes of the NBC Sports Bay Area broadcast, holding up a sign that says Fire Kerr. It is some awesome shit. And he wants to start a GoFundMe. Apparently Kev F is saying the chat will not. Dude, will you do me a favor so we can do this proper? And I'll start promoting this next episode. But what I need from you, Kim, if you don't mind, is shoot me an email with that link. And the email address, and this goes for anyone if you ever want to contact.
You didn't get it on Twitter? I sent it to you on Surf Journalist.
Can you email it just to be safe?
Yeah, let me get that.
Twitter DMs are not the most effective way of communicating. I'm sorry. I don't know if I got it. I don't think I did because the last link I got from you, it was dead. You might have sent it, but I'm just saying, just to be safe, just email me. Here's the email again. It's warriors24pod@gmail.com. And the reason why Cam set up a GoFundMe is because what he wants to do, he's doing God's work, folks, if you're a religious person. And if not, just play along. He wants to use the GoFundMe money to sit right behind Steve Kerr and let him know for an entire game that he sucks. But please correct me if I'm wrong on any of that.
That is a fact. That is a fact. We need to let him know about this small ball ain't working. He needs to retire, give it up. I've been saying this for 3 years. I've been saying for longer than 3 years. I've been calling it Kerr been our problem for so long. I was so heartbroken when he got that contract extension. It didn't make no sense. We was like the 10th seed when they gave him that contract extension. So he said Warriors 24 pod, like the number 24 pod.
Yeah, here it's Warrior. Yeah, Warriors 24. 24 is Rick Barry's number, Willie Mays' number. Warriors 24 pod, like a podcast, at Gmail.
Got you.
And
I don't like it what a couple people were saying tonight. Nah, Kerr don't deserve to finish out the season. He lucky he got that contract extension, getting that $19 million. Cut his ties right now. Steph is getting better, but we don't know how much longer this don't last. I think he could play 5, 6, 7 years, especially if we get somebody to take over the team. He could be a Ray Allen type shooter. They still gonna double team him all the time. So Steph could play as long as he want to play. Kerr needs to go right now. We see he messing his team up. Draymond is holding us hostage. I do not want to trade Kuminga. Draymond is the one that needs to go. He the one that's holding us up. Yeah, you did your thing, but go be a coach on the sideline. Go do the Haslam role. Take a pay cut. Get the vet minimum if you want to stay on the Warriors.
I like that.
He messes everything up with Jimmy. Gee not getting minutes, but luckily Gee been playing lately. But Kerr still doing the same Kerr things. Pajimski minutes has went down, but he shouldn't even be on the floor most of the time. And everybody say Kuminga don't got ball handles. No, Pajimski do the same thing, pick up his dribble, pivot around. He don't got ball handles. So it's like people don't just keep it real.
And he's an awful finisher, man. Like how many possessions do you see Brandon Pajemski actually get to the rim? And then like sometimes he'll be wide open, but he kicks it out. And he kicks it out as someone who's like either not ready for it or is not in a good position. That's why he never gets assists. Is because
how many
like
times he overlooks Steph. Steph wide open and he don't pass it to Steph.
He does that. And he oftentimes will pass it because he puts himself in these really difficult situations where he like has to pass it because he's like it's ugly. It's ugly ball, man. I don't get. Honestly, the Pajemski, like the people who still think he's a good player or whatever, I don't get that. Like he might make it in this game for 10, 15 years because he's good enough to be like a backup point guard. But for the minutes he's been getting until this point, tonight was a nice adjustment where we only saw him play for a total of 16 minutes, 28 seconds. I still think that's 10 minutes, 28 seconds too much, but that's just me.
And we should bring Cryer up. He should be getting all Pajemski minutes. And since Pat Spencer was on the game limit, bring Cryer up. Let him play that backup role. Let him get some minutes playing. We see the rookies can actually play if we give them the chance.
Yes, sir. LJ Cryer, man. I'm still trying to get him on the show, by the way. I think part of the reason why there's a lag there is because LJ is so focused on his game right now.
He know if he come on here and you talking what you be talking, it's probably gonna get back to Kerr and he really not gonna get brought up.
Well, I told his agent that all I was I made it very clear to his agent. I said, I'll even send you the questions. We're just gonna butter him up. I told his agent it was gonna be a drama-free, just an introduction to an audience because we're all huge fans of his. And again, the agent's talking to me. The agent just keeps giving me like a, I'll check back with you next week. I'll check back with, now granted, this has been going on for like 3 months, but yeah, so who knows? But I made it very clear that that it was going to be just a fun chance to introduce him to the world, and we'll see. But
for sure, we need you to get that position that you was talking about earlier, man. Go ask Kerr the hard questions. I don't know how long you gonna last when you get there, but you'll at least get one game for some good questions.
I'm gonna try, and if I can reveal more details about it, I will. But I will apply, and then we'll see if politics prevents me, or maybe they don't pay shit. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm gonna try, man. How are you doing? How's life, Cam?
Going cool. Besides the Warriors fucking up every other game, but other than that,
were you there tonight?
Cool.
Were you near Chase Center?
Oh no, I'm in Antioch right now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But yeah.
All good. Well, Cam, email me that GoFundMe. I'll blast it on social media. I'll mention. You don't have to come on for me to promote it. I'll promote it unsolicited, man. I'll create a QR code. I'll do the whole gamut. All right.
For sure. And they could donate a ticket. They ain't even got to give me the money. Just give me the ticket. I'll go to the game.
Dude, if we could find like a super fan who with the seats that close, dude, I want to see you on camera the way. Remember that guy that dressed up like Kerr in the Bulls outfit and it pissed Kerr off? Like, what can we expect from you if you actually get there? Are you going to keep the words like PC?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna curse because I'm not trying to get kicked out or banned. I'm gonna keep it nice and clean. I'm gonna just tell the truth. I will bring a poster, but I think they don't even allow posters like that. But everything I'm gonna say is gonna be clean. I'm not gonna curse. I'm not gonna do anything to get me kicked out the game. They just gonna hear my voice loud and clear about what Kerr's doing. I'm gonna start some boos. Get the whole crowd to start booing as soon as Kerr put a 3-4 guard lineup out there when he got perfectly good wings sitting on the bench.
I hope it happens.
How many minutes did Will get tonight?
I just emailed you. What's up?
How many minutes did Will get tonight?
He didn't have a good game. He played 12 minutes total. 12 minutes, 20 seconds.
Don't make no sense.
It don't. And I know statistically he had a bad night. I barely even remember him out there. He kind of looked overwhelmed tonight. He looked like a rookie. I think that was the best way to.
And what's going on with Post minutes? Why is Post not getting at least 30?
I don't know. Good question. I don't know. He's still starting, but Quentin Post only played. He played 17 minutes, 30 seconds tonight. And I'm guessing part of the reason is because of the Al Horford minutes. Al Horford played 15 minutes and 52 seconds. So I'm guessing that's at least part of the reason. But
cut Draymond minutes, man. Let that man rest.
But look, Armando, I emailed you the link. So if you really want to come on tonight, you're welcome to. If not, I understand. We've been going over 3 hours. I got to wrap this up myself. But Armando, if you want to come on, man, obviously the invite's always open. Cam, any final thoughts?
Fire Kerr. We need to boo. We need to make our presence known. We need to call all the radio stations. Need to be at the games booing. Our voice can be heard. We do not got to sit back and take it. Everybody always say, oh, they're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. No, if the fans make it heard, hurt their pockets. Make it known on TV. The TV media is coming around. Even Bonte Hill was talking about Kuminga and how Kerr doing a terrible job. So it's starting to work, but we need it to happen faster. We need it to happen this year.
And for the folks out there who are
y'all have a good one.
You too, man. Cam, a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to that link. And for the folks out there who think that fan influence, that you're cynical about fan influence, you're skeptical about fans actually impacting change. T. Kebler in our chat, if I got that correct, stating the fact that Dallas Mavericks fans got Nico Harrison fired, and that's not hyperbolic. Me saying that those chants were occurring during Mavericks players shooting free throws in their own arena. It became that big of a distraction that they had to move on. So the fans do have influence. And folks, in the same way that the fans have influence, so does this guy.
Stay at home, son.
Oh, Chardon, how you doing, bud?
Hi, Sai. I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. You make some great content videos on the platform. As the Golden State Warriors suffer a 124-111 loss against the Atlanta Hawks from Chase Center in downtown San Francisco. This team had so many chances to win this game, and they failed on every opportunity that was given to them, which pisses me off because this team is so inconsistent. They can't string a amount of wins together. That is something that this team needs to work on, because the Warriors have a lot of things that they need to work on, and then this is one thing that this team needs to work on.
Shardal, I'm a little surprised that you did not come in here with a celebratory mood. I know the Warriors lost tonight. I know we're a Warriors show, but the San Francisco 49ers, that was amazing. Were you fired up?
That said, I was watching the 49ers and Eagles game at my house with my friend. We ordered pizza and wings. I had a nice cold beer as well. But that was the most exhilarating game I've ever seen in my life. That game came down to the wire, and the 49ers took down the Eagles 23-19, and they're moving on to face the Seattle Seahawks in the divisional round. Dude, anytime a team comes into a hostile environment, it scares me. Fans are not ready for that.
Folks,
they're not ready for that.
Folks, did you hear the change in his voice the moment we talked Niners? Shardal, you immediately got all happy and excited. That's what winning does,
Let's go,
baby.
Niners beat the Eagles 23-19 in Lincoln Financial Field. Let's go, Niners, baby. Bang, bang.
Stay at home, son.
Danger
The
zone,
Philadelphia
baby.
Eagles are no more. The Philadelphia Eagles are no more. We don't got to see that team ever again. They're out of the playoffs or eliminated.
Do you drink alcohol?
I hate the Eagles. I drink alcohol.
We do. So, it's because Hamza Kassem was like, "You drink? Well, what's your drink of choice?"
I had a Stella Artois.
Oh, okay. So you're a beer drinker.
I'm a beer drinker.
Are you Buffalo sober? Meaning, do you just drink beer and wine and maybe some of the lighter liquors?
I drink rum and tequila.
Okay, so you're full. Okay, you drink, you party. You're a party boy.
I'm a party boy.
Dude, I love you, brother. Let's go through.
I'm a party boy. I like the party, man. What were your thoughts on the Warriors game today, man? Like, it was the Warriors have to bounce back, in their next game.
Those are my.
They have to bounce back.
My thoughts exactly. You nailed it to the T.
The Warriors are such an inconsistent team, and they gotta win more games because they win 2 games, then they lose. They win and they lose. I'm like, can this team not keep on stopping inconsistent? Please? Can you please explain to me why this team is? Can you please explain to me why the Warriors are such an inconsistent basketball team?
Well, sure, no, they're not. They're actually very consistent. They lose to the good teams. They beat the bad teams. It's very consistent. It's just not the consistency.
No, but I see them.
What?
I wish the Golden State. I wish the Golden State Warriors were like the Sharks. The Sharks win a lot of games. They're the most inconsistent hockey team.
They win
a lot of games.
The Warriors need a.
The Warriors need to be like the Sharks.
They need a Macklin Celebrini. You're absolutely right.
Steph Curry is the Macklin Celebrini is the Steph Curry of the Sharks.
By the way, Mr. Silax in the chat says, Shardal, you drink the Henny by the gallon. Is that true?
I love Henny.
It's tasty.
I love Hennessy.
People are surprised that you drink. Wow.
I was an alcoholic.
You were an alcoholic. What does that mean? What?
No, I'm still an alcoholic.
You're still an alcoholic. Oh,
but
you're also a stay-at-home son. So, do your parents enable the behavior? Do they know about this?
No. Whenever there's a special occasion going on, they let me drink, like the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals.
How many special occasions a week?
I drink on New Year's, I drink on Christmas, and I drink on my birthday.
All right, so it's very special occasions. So you're not an alcoholic. You're just a social drinker. You drink on special occasions.
I'm a social drinker.
There you go. Okay, that's okay.
I'm ready to go over the scoreboard and wrap up the show for the night,
Yes,
man.
real quick, though, real quick.
It's been a long show, and I want to get ready to go to bed.
Fair enough. Real quick, Val in our chat. I can't resist touching on this. Are you're dating, or you were dating Taylor Rooks?
No, I don't know who Taylor Rooks is.
Okay, well she's the host on NBA on Prime.
No, I don't know who she is, and they're making up stories. I'm not dating her.
Stories about Chardal, damn it.
I'm not dating. I don't even know who that woman is. Why are you saying I'm dating her?
You'd like her. I think you'd like her, Chardal. I think you'd.
No, I think I like her for ins and outs. I like her.
Let's go to the scoreboard. It is January.
Why are you laughing?
11th. What do you think's going to happen to that? Chardal, Thursday is when Kuminga could get traded. What do you think's going to happen?
Kuminga's going to get traded to the Kings for Keegan Murray, and that's official.
You know what's crazy? That is the most realistic outcome, I think, of all the scenarios we've talked about. I think that is the most. And again, Keegan Murray, whatever, But
so Jonathan Kuminga to the Kings, and Keegan Murray to the Warriors.
Yeah,
you think that's the most realistic thing that can happen?
I do. I think
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go over the scoreboard and wrap up the show for the night, man. I love coming on. Let's kill it.
Let's kill it. I want to snuggle with the pub. And
let's kill it, man. I'm ready to. Let's kill it. Let's have fun tonight.
Let's do it. You got me all pumped up. We need the screaming man.
Let's scream today. Let's scream together.
The Orlando Magic.
I love you so much.
Love you too, Chardal. The Orlando Magic winners 128-118 tonight at home over the New Orleans Pelicans. The Magic improving to 22-18. The Pelicans dropping to 9-32. Yet despite that 9-32 record, Joe Dumars loves his team and won't make a trade. Yay, Joe. Anthony Black.
The New Orleans Pelicans are one of the worst basketball teams in the NBA right now. They have a horrible record. I don't think they're going to make it to the playoffs.
Oh, they're definitely not. But Joe Dumars does not want to change anything up. So tough shit if the Warriors want one of their players. Maybe the most interesting stat line, Anthony Black missing just one shot the entire night in finishing with 28 points, 7 assists, 3 steals. Trey Murphy, the third, a dream target for a lot of members of Dub Nation. 21 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists in the loss. The Memphis Grizzlies, 103-98 winners tonight over the Brooklyn Nets in Memphis. Santi Aldama, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks in the win. I don't know who T. Martin is for Brooklyn. Let me look that up real fast. Do you know who T. Martin is?
I don't know who T. Martin is.
Tyrese Martin of the Brooklyn Nets.
Did you hear?
Yeah.
Sai, did you hear about Dennis Schroeder is suspended for 3 games? He was trying to strike another player when they lost to the Lakers.
Do you know who the other player was?
It was Luka Doncic.
That's why it was 3 games. The NBA is protecting their star. And Tyrese Martin, I'm not justifying the suspension. I'm just explaining why Schroeder got such a severe punishment. Tyrese Martin, a 2022 second-round pick of the Warriors. I don't remember that at all. Anyways, he was the top performer for Brooklyn tonight with 17 points. A final in overtime, the Toronto Raptors, 116-115 winners over the Philadelphia 76ers. Scotty Barnes, 31 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists for Toronto, who improves to 24-16. Philly drops to 21-16. Tyrese Maxey, 38 points in the loss. How does Joel Embiid, would you want him on the Warriors?
I would not want Joel Embiid on the Warriors.
Fair enough. The New York Knicks.
So as a sports fan, it brings so much joy to me that the Eagles lost, the Sixers lost. Man, you can't tell me how proud I am right now. Both Philly teams lost.
Who are you proud
I
of?
love that so much. No, because I hate all Philly teams.
Okay,
I hate the Eagles and I hate the Sixers.
Fair enough.
I'm a Warriors fan. Why would I like the Sixers? I'm a Warriors fan. Why would I like them?
Well, you do know the Warriors originated in Philly, right? Before they moved out here.
But I did, but I still hate Philly. I would love to try the food from Philly, man. They have some authentic food, like
cheesesteak.
If I ate beef, I would eat a cheesesteak proudly. If I ate it beef, but unfortunately, due to religious reasons, I do not eat beef.
It's healthy. I mean, look, I'll tell you this: red meat is delicious, but it ain't good for you. So you're at least doing your body good. What do you eat instead? Do you eat a lot of chicken?
I eat chicken, pork,
lamb,
but no beef.
Okay. But no beef. Okay, fair enough.
No beef.
The two teams that are going to be in the Bay Area this upcoming week play tonight in Portland. The New York Knicks, 123-114 winners over the Trailblazers. The Knicks improving to 25-14. The Blazers dropping to 19-21. Jalen Brunson, 26.6 rebounds, 8 assists in the win. Denny Avdia, 25 points, 3 steals in the loss for the Trailblazers, who dropped to 19-21. The Knicks again, 25-14, their record. Shardal, what is your prediction for these next two games? The Warriors play Portland next, and then the Knicks right after that. What's your prediction?
I'm going with the Warriors taking down the Portland Trailblazers 155-105, and I got the Warriors taking down the Knicks 160-105.
We had a great game in Minnesota tonight. The Timberwolves hosted the Spurs, and Minnesota won this game on an Anthony Edwards game. Ant-Man was on fire. Minnesota wins 104-103 to improve to 26-14 on the year. The Spurs dropped to 27-12. Dante DiVincenzo, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists in the win. Victor Wembanyama, 29.7 rebounds, 3 steals in the loss.
So when the Warriors are playing the Knicks on March 15th. March 15th. I'm gonna get a Stephen Curry birthday speech ready, because they play the Knicks one day after Stephen Curry's birthday on March 14th, which is March 14th is the day that Stephen Curry's birthday.
Whose birthday?
Stephen Curry was born on March 14th.
I know. I'm teasing. Shardal, the standings are.
Should I get a birthday speech ready for Stephen Curry and read it live on the air when I come on?
Why not?
Because I want to wish him a happy birthday.
Do it.
When I come on.
Do it.
When we play on March 15, when we play the Knicks, is that game in MSG or is that in San Francisco on the schedule?
New York.
New York.
Hold on. Let me confirm that. In March, in New York.
Yeah, so that game will be very special because at Madison Square Garden is the same arena where he broke Ray Allen's 3-point record.
And he has his career scoring high of 62.
So he probably Stephen Curry probably loves playing in MSG. He loves playing in New York City. I bet all athletes like if you see a tennis player, every tennis player, all these professional athletes love playing in New York. New York is the mecca of basketball.
I've been to a game there. I've been to a game there, and it meets all the hype. It matches it. It's an amazing.
And you get to see all the celebrities sitting courtside. You get to see all the Jay-Z
Jay-Z's a Nets guy, but the only celebrity I saw. What's up?
But sometimes when you go to Madison Square Garden, sometimes even other celebrities like Jay-Z probably show up there because it's a popular city. All the celebrities want to show up there.
The only celebrity that was there for the game I went to was Eli Manning. He was sitting courtside. That's it. Yeah, it was a letdown. By the way, the standings do not look good for the Warriors shirt at all. The Warriors are currently the 8th seed. They're only 2 games ahead of Portland, who is currently the 9th seed. And they play each other next. So if Portland beats the Warriors on Tuesday, right? Is that the next game? Tuesday? Yes.
The 13th of January. They play Portland on Tuesday, right?
My dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. Yes. So when they play Tuesday, if Portland wins, they will be separated by just 1 game. That's not good. Here's where it gets even worse. The Warriors are 5 losses behind the Rockets for the 7 seed. 5.
So what are your thoughts on Damian Lillard, who is going to miss the entire 2025 to 26 NBA season, and he's going to return for the 2026 to 2027 season? What are your thoughts on when Dame comes back for Portland? Because I bet all the Warrior fans love Dame because he's born and raised in Oakland. So when he comes back, how excited are you when Dame comes back to play for Portland?
It'll be nice to see him. It'll be nice. Elsewhere in the association, the OKC Thunder improved to 33-7 with a 124-112 win tonight over the Miami Heat. Again, in OKC, the Heat dropped to 20-19. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 29 points, 8 assists. Andrew Wiggins, 23 points in the loss. There were a lot of games tonight, Shardall. We got 3 more.
I love SGA because every time SGA steps on the court, he's changing the whole game around. Like that guy, when he steps on the court, he's unpredictable, man. You never know what SGA is going to do on the court. He might do some circus shots, some crazy shots, behind the back shots, some crazy shots, and drain it.
And Riz in the chat, and maybe some other people as well, correcting me. Steph's career high 62 was against Portland at home. I could have swore it was against New York. I know the 54-point game. They lost that game.
You mean at home means at Chase Center in San Francisco?
Yeah. So my apologies for that. I had
that Portland Trailblazers game and Warriors game on Tuesday. If he gets 63 points, he's gonna break the record of 62.
You think he's gonna do that Tuesday night?
He's gonna break it. He's gonna get 63 points. He's gonna break his record at home against Portland.
Do you think Stephen Curry will ever achieved on January 3rd, 2021 when the Warriors beat Portland? Yeah, my bad. Do you think Steph will break the 3-point record, which is currently held by Klay Thompson, 14 in a single game?
I think he's going to break Klay Thompson's 3-point record.
Do you think all that will happen in this Tuesday?
It's going to happen all in Tuesday against Portland.
Love it. The Denver Nuggets winners tonight at home. They improved to 26-13, defeating the Milwaukee Bucks 108-104. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 31 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists in the loss for the Bucks, who dropped to 17-22. Tim Hardaway Jr., your top performer for the Nuggets tonight, with 25 points. 2 more games. We're almost there. These Phoenix Suns are now the 6th seed in the West with a 112-93 win tonight over the Washington Wizards. Royce O'Neal, 19.7 rebounds on the win for the Suns, who improved to 24-16. The Wizards dropped to 10-28. Alex Sarr, 19 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks. I want Alex Sarr on the Warriors. And last score. Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the Suns, the Suns have such a great record. The Wizards also have the worst record, worst record in the NBA. The Suns have Royce O'Neal, they have Devin Booker. The Suns are looking good right now with the roster they have. They're putting up numbers, man. Like, it's fun to see that team go out there and produce for the organization.
You predicted this score, right? 115-105 for Tuesday?
Yeah, that was me. I predicted that score for the Portland Trailblazers and Warriors game.
I think this might be the record for the longest show I've ever done. Shardall, would it be a good or a bad idea for me? Because I've been teasing this for like 3 years. The Steve Kerr, when Steve Kerr's gut has gone wrong episode. I think it's time to do it. I've been, if not
I would love to come on.
But do you think I should make that episode like a fundraiser? Like, would that work? Like a support the program show? Like make it a fundraiser? Where I just dedicate a show just to every mistake Steve Kerr has made in his 12 years.
You should make it a fundraiser.
All right. Yeah, but this is a long show, 3.5 hours. This might be the longest show we've ever done. I don't know why it's gone this long, but it has. Last game, last score we present to you, and this impacts the Warriors considerably because the Houston Rockets are now the 7th seed in the West, above the Golden State Warriors, yet they're 5 losses ahead. I think they're 3.5 games technically ahead because the Rockets have played 2 less games. But the Rockets lose tonight in Sacramento. The Kings beat them 111-98. DeMar DeRozan, 22.6 assists on the win. Amen Thompson, 31 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists for the flailing Houston Rockets, who dropped to 22-14. The Sacramento Kings improved to 9-30. That is your scoreboard show. Chardol, how many subscribers do you have on SGA Sports Talk?
Stay at home, son.
I'm currently at 515 subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Steady, slow but steady. I like it. You're going up.
I really love everything you do on the channel, man. I love everything you do on it. I love that you make such insightful content on your show. I'm a big fan, and I'll continue to be a big fan of your show.
Thank you, sir. What are you gonna do now? Are you gonna go right to bed? Like, what does Chardol do after these shows?
So I'm gonna probably play. I'm probably gonna play some Madden 26
for PS5 or Xbox.
PlayStation 5.
Oh, there you go, buddy. I'm a PS guy myself. So, what are some great titles for the PS5? I need to get some games. What's good out there besides Madden 27?
Grand Theft Auto 6.
That's not out yet.
You should get Madden. Get all the Madden games. Get all the NBA 2K20.
GTA's not out yet. What else?
GTA 5. GTA 5. GTA 5.
All right, Chardol. We're all tapped out. Chardol, I love you, man. You want to say bye to the audience?
Viewers, make sure to smash that, click that like button, smash that subscribe button, ring that notification bell for Golden Days in reference to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused, and also subscribe to the SGA Sports Style channel. I'm at 515 subscribers. I'm on the road to 600, so make sure you follow me. Ring that notification bell so you never miss out when I come out with another live video. The final score, the Atlanta Hawks, 124. The Golden State Warriors, 111 from Chase Center in San Francisco, California. They're looking to bounce back against the Portland Trailblazers on Tuesday night. It's great being on the show. And I'll definitely join you on Tuesday night. Let's take down the Portland Trailblazers. Hope you have a great night, and see you later for now.